Hey, it's Russ Bain with Role Playing Public Radio. We're playing Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Ethan is running the game. I don't know what it's called.
It is called We Cannot Hallow This Ground. And it is a Civil War Cthulhu scenario, number 304. Excuse me. And it is about the Gettysburg National Cemetery project. And I've got a nice little intro. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to the cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that the nation shall, under God, have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. With those words, the President concludes his brief speech. The applause and cheers continue for some time, and then the consecration of the Gettysburg National Cemetery concludes with a choral performance and a prayer. The officials leave the platform, and the crowd begins to disperse to the various other celebratory venues. But you each hold a special invitation summoning you discreetly to a private event. Lunch with the President at the home of David Wills, the head of the cemetery project. But there is no meal in evidence when you arrive. In the parlor you are alone with only Mr. Lincoln, Mr. Wills, and a short man with a mustache and a large roll of paper. Mr. Wills locks the doors. Gentlemen and good ladies, the President begins. You may not know each other, but for various reasons each of you have my utmost trust, which is why I am charging you with a very delicate mission. There is some evidence that the cemetery project may have some irregularities of some sort, and I need someone trustworthy to look into this matter from outside. That's why I've summoned you here today, and I'm charging you with that special mission. Like I said, you may not know each other yet, but perhaps you might give introductions. So we can now go around and you can introduce your characters.
Hello. I am playing Elizabeth Vincent. She is a well-educated dilettante, and she is here to find the remains of her husband and give them a proper burial. So she is dressed in traditional full mourning clothes, black dress and veil. But yeah.
Hi, my name is Neil. I'm Ethan's brother, and I'm playing George William Cotter. George William Cotter is a reporter for the New York Daily Tribune. I work for my boss, Horace Greeley, and been a strong supporter of this Republican Party and the equality that our president stands for.
Strangely southern accent for a New Yorker.
Yes, well, I was. I didn't always live in New York.
Yes, you did. No,
You've been undercover.
Didn't always live there. I was born there.
I am from Massachusetts.
I'm sorry. I picked a voice.
Are you sure you can't do Angry County, Caleb? I think that you can.
I can do a different voice if you like.
Just try to sound like Matt Damon.
No. Matt Damon. I'm John W. Chambers. I am a Presbyterian minister and from Kingsport, Massachusetts. Both of my brothers served at Gettysburg, and I am a member of the Christian Commission.
Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm playing Sarah Burton. She's a nurse. Middle-aged woman. Actually, a strong and capable-looking middle-aged woman. With a competent and assured demeanor, which men find particularly intimidating. She was a nurse with the U.S. Sanitary Commission, dedicating to improving treatment of the wounded, and she served in the Gettysburg field hospitals right after the battle,
That woman is wearing trousers. We can't trust her.
Historical side note, the Christian Commission and the U.S. Sanitary Commission were the two big sort of civilian service organizations during the Civil War for providing relief to the armies. Sanitary Commission was not overtly religious in nature. The Christian Commission obviously was. But they kind of both did the same thing, with the exception the Christian Commission also did stuff like have chaplains for units and stuff.
What
I like Miss Burton, because I am very courteous to ladies.
What was the date?
It is November 19th, 1863.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm David, and I'm going to be playing Private Alicia Thomas. I am from Boston as well. I'm not even going to try the accent because I heard about it so much the last time. Oh, good Lord. Let's see. I'm a very young, sober-looking soldier. Noticeably disabled by my war wounds, specifically the fact that my left hand is missing. I'm just going to go for a full-on missing left arm, might as well.
Fair enough.
I don't think the person would be like, yeah, well, lost the hand, might as well chop the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Might as well be useless.
Well, but
I don't need this left part of my ribcage, do I? I'm not doing anything now.
But Civil War doctors would.
I'm a...
You don't need that
Goodbye,
shot. Come on in. We'll give you a good
I'm
half.
a best man now.
Honestly, because I've got the two of them, the shell shock and the missing left hand, I'm figuring, probably caught a cannon. That explains the whole, oh, holy shit, are they firing at us again?
Nice.
Just stick your hand out. It's like, to see what the direction the wind is. Oh, cannon came from that direction.
Well, I'm thinking that it was more I was holding a flag and now I'm not.
Nice.
Those are targets.
They really were.
Very much so.
Common sense was not common back then.
Okay, and hey, it's Zarin, and I will be playing Dr. Charles Ridley, a Philadelphia resident who is a elderly man with sharp eyes but shaky hands, well-kept silver beard, and was a doctor with the U.S. Sanitary Commission.
Shaky hands? That could also explain why the cut was a little... Don't worry.
I'm not the one who did this. So, although he seems to be a little bit full of himself, because he likes to show off his high education and status whenever possible. In classical languages.
Arrogant and has leverage over the party. So it's worked out well.
All right. So,
Obviously, you were taken in by my accent. I'm also an actor. I should point that out.
you're just doing that exactly.
Mr. President, look out for that Booth fellow. He's a baddie.
Don't go to the theater. It's really bad.
I'm hazed to read your sheets before you start playing, people.
Fun fact, John Wilkes Booth was not present at the speech, but he was present at Lincoln's second inaugural. So anyway, speaking of Lincoln, I'm afraid I don't really have any details of what I need you to look into here, aside from just the general operations of the cemetery reburial project. It's a very complicated task that's undertaken right now, and it's just been brought to my attention that there may be some odd issues or anything. You understand that this project is very important to the Union. This is very important to the entire nation, and it would be a huge blow to our national morale if anything were to go terribly wrong with it, which is why this is so important to me and why I am specifically and specially charging you to look into it with utmost discretion, I must emphasize.
Well, Mr. President, not to overstep my boundaries, but may I ask why the concern over the process of reconsecrating the dead? So, what kind of target would that provide for anybody?
It's a good question, I suppose. I could see. I could see not somebody working, I'm sure, officially on behalf of the Confederacy, because I wouldn't consider it. I would consider it too dishonorable, I think, for any of them to authorize. But I suppose it could be an issue of Confederate agents or something meddling in this thing. You know, not everyone who's a Southern sympathizer takes their orders from Jefferson Davis, as you know. There are people throughout the North who might be interested in disrupting this sort of thing. But as I said, I don't have any real hard evidence. What's happened is the fellow who runs who's in charge of the disinterment of the remains said he noticed some sort of odd irregularities that concerned him, but he had difficulty bringing it to the attention of anyone who would believe him. He's a black gentleman, you see, named Basil Biggs. But fortunately, he managed to get in touch with my my valet, Mr. Johnson.
Who's speaking right now?
This is the president.
Okay.
Yes. My valet is. I trust him implicitly, understand, and fortunately he had his ear to the ground in this matter. His valet, whose name, incidentally, is...
Steve?
I want to say... Robert
History
Johnson
doesn't work
or
like
something.
RPPR, sadly. Everyone is
Where did I
not
put his
Steve.
name?
We can't,
Time is a flat circle.
we can't suggest names.
William H. Johnson. He is Lincoln's close friend and confidant, African American. He's known him ever since Illinois, and it's a very interesting relationship. I think they started out. Lincoln's, I think, views on race evolved over the course of the war. And Johnson may have been partially responsible for that, just because he ended up with a very close personal relationship with this guy who was a combination of bodyguard and all-purpose guy who just did stuff for Lincoln and just.
Did he help him kill the vampires? I read about that in one of the historical texts.
Yes, that's actually. He sacrificed himself to save Lincoln from the vamp. No. But anyway, that's kind of an interesting aside. But
Great Vampire Uprising of 62.
Mr. President, is this Biggs man? He's a churched individual?
Yes,
He knows
sir.
what he's doing, the proper observance of all of the...
Well, his particular the things he does in the course of this are not of a religious nature per se. His part of this process is
Oh my, I'm so glad you contacted us.
right. But yes, but he is a very important person, and he's basically in charge of taking the corpses out of the ground where they're currently buried, collecting them and getting them ready for transport and reburial. So anyway, he'll probably be an important person for you to contact in the course of this investigation. Anyhow, I'm afraid, if anyone else has any questions for me, otherwise I do have a lot of other obligations I need to get to. I'm feeling rather poorly as well.
Well, Mr. President, if you have an hour and a half or so, perhaps that nice gentleman over there would be able to take our picture together.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have time for that. I've got to go shake hands with people for about a solid hour and then go to another speech, and if I'm lucky I can get on a train back to Washington this evening and
Contact
I'm afraid
Amazing Screw on
I'm
him.
feeling terrible, quite poorly. I'm afraid I may be coming down with smallpox, so if you'll forgive me if I...
Everyone backs away.
Burns the president.
It's been going around in
We'll
Washington.
skip the handshaking part of it.
Anyway, I've got to go shake hands with people for an hour with my low-grade smallpox.
And history knew that as the presidential plague from there on.
True story. He did, in fact, have a mild case of smallpox, and he did shake hands with people for an hour after the Gettysburg event. So,
Noted.
good stuff. Well, anyhow, I'll bid your adieu. This man here, Mr. Wills, is not only in charge of the whole project. He could answer more detailed questions about the logistics of the operation and who you can go talk to. I do recommend probably you devise some sort of method of approach today, and then begin your investigations on the morrow. There's still many crowds here and a lot of events going on today.
What did you say Mr. Wells is in charge of?
He's the main guy in charge of the whole Gettysburg National Cemetery project.
Okay, thank you.
And so the problem, out of character, is that people are What exactly? Like messing with the bodies, or
Lincoln doesn't really know. He just has heard that there's something going on and he sent you guys to find out.
Okay, so we're investigating the rumors.
Right,
that
yeah.
something is amiss.
Right, yeah.
But there's no specifics.
Correct, not yet.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Yeah, we are at your disposal, Mr. President. Anything we can do to help bring this nefarious affair to an end, and if there's, I've heard tale, in England there were, these vile resurrectionists and whatnot. So perhaps it is.
Yes, I very much doubt that any of the remains in here would be of interest, even to the medical establishment, them being so far gone at this point. But anyhow, I wouldn't care to speculate. That's your job, is to dig up the, as it were, the truth of the matter.
Anything we can do to help.
One more thing. I must stress again the great importance of discretion in this matter. This could be, if something truly is amiss here, a terrible blow to the Union to find that anything is interfering with the honoring of these heroes here who sacrifice themselves for us. But I have prepared a letter authorizing you, under my authority, to do this. So in case anyone asks any questions and you feel the need to explain to them why you're here and what you're doing, it is available there. So pass that around.
So we can kick indoors as long as we have the letter in our left hand and a pistol in our right.
Come and check your bodies.
I don't
Got
know.
bodies here?
I don't know about you, but I'm going to be using press credentials for everything.
You
So.
can. Now, the reason, Mr. Reporter, that Lincoln asked you on this is because the New York Tribune is the most reliable press organ for the Washington establishment. Like, it basically... it's the New York...
I work for Horace Greeley.
Right, and he is basically, he's one of Lincoln's closest allies politically. So he's really trusting you to not write any story about this and to just make sure no one else does.
Certainly.
So yeah, you could go around and say that you're a reporter or whatever, you're gathering information, just with the understanding that none of this is ever going to be printed or
Of course
reported.
not. But that doesn't mean. But that doesn't prevent me from going up to, say, Miss Basil Biggs and say, "Hi, I'm with the whatever the hell
New York
newspaper I
Tribune.
work for, New York Daily Tribune. Can I
talk
ask
news
you a
real
few
good.
questions?"
Tell news?
Let me use my
Tell
fast
news
talk
me?
ability on you.
Let me find news, then write it on paper.
If you just want to pass that around, I kind of would like it back at the end, just so that...
Now, I'm
And your
basically
character's name is
private
Smith?
in this army, but
Yeah.
I do have a
First name is
rather
Smith.
shiny medal right here.
Your character's name?
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay. I misread that.
And I'm
Miss
pretty
Bush.
sure that this medal will actually open doors.
Probably will.
I found you. Curtis. Because you are a woman.
And only.
I responded kind.
Fun fact, I did get the picture for your guy is a picture of a real person. Actually, all these people are based on real people.
Yeah.
Photographs.
But I got it from the website mydaguerreotypeboyfriend.com. So
He's a winner.
My
Strong
what
jawline.
girlfriend?
I kind of, at some point, I want to do a scenario set in like historical Australia to use those like photos of arrested Australian criminals that all look like they're models. Like, I mean, I don't know what was in the water there, but yeah, no. Like, are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
There
I
is
think
no
I've seen
more player character in history than Ned Kelly.
That's true.
I cover myself in plate and steel. Fuck you, Johnny Love! Who's this armor bonus? I want to go talk to Basil Biggs.
well, that's something you're going to do. First thing you need to do probably is have a little chat with David
Wills?
and he can explain to you how the whole sort of thing is set
I'm
up.
kind of curious about that. So,
And
where would we find him?
He's
you
in the
will
room,
find him
right?
right next to you. He's in the room. Yeah.
Where were you? How did you do that? Are you a Confederate spy?
Mr. Willis, how goes the operation?
Well, as far as I can tell, everything seems on the up and up. Mr. Biggs is a man that I trust, I must say. So I only heard recently about these allegations myself. He didn't apparently bring them to me, which is, I suppose, understandable because he doesn't know who he can trust. But I'm quite willing to work with you.
Is Johnny Reb about?
Not in any evidence. Not in any evidence. Of course, there are many Southern sympathizers in this county and this area, or there were anyway before the battle, I must say, when the Army of Northern Virginia came through and pillaged basically everything they could get their hands on. I do believe they probably decreased their local support around here substantially. And, of course, the Union victory in the battle turned the tide, I think, for a lot of people as far as their confidence in our cause. But there are certainly, there's a possibility there could be some outsiders interfering with anything. But I suppose I had to fill you in a little bit on how the whole process simply is conducted. So when the battle was fought, the dead of both sides were essentially buried either where they fell in their units or in the hospitals in which they perished afterwards, hither and yon, kind of helter-skelter across the land. And then when we decided we needed to gather them together and honor them properly, that process requires disinterring them from their current locations, and trying to identify the bodies as best as we can, transporting them here to the new National Cemetery and burying them in state according to the states from which they came. So Mr. Biggs is in charge of the disinterment crew, which is the unpleasant side of things.
And are they all reinterred, or is it my understanding that the southern corpses are reburied where they fell?
This is a project to honor our dead, not those of the enemy. I mean, as much as I would say, as many in the North would say, that they are worthy of respect, despite their rebelliousness and their actions, treason. Nonetheless, this is a national project taken on now for the honoring of our loyal sons, and perhaps something will be done with the Confederate corpses in the future, but that's not part of the project.
Well, Mr. Wood, what is slowing down this operation? I mean, who are we to know how long a day in our world of vanity and dust is to those who have gone to their eternal reward? I mean, if they've not been on hallowed ground, we must see to this post-haste.
Well, yes, indeed, I concur with you. For I'm sure while their spirits are at whatever the final resting place their souls incline them to, it is for us the living to honor their mortal remains as best we can, which is the whole purpose of the project. It has unfortunately taken this long for a number of reasons. The chiefest of which is simply the enormous scale of the task.
How exactly are we going to hallow all of the ground? Because if we're burying men in unhallowed ground, we're reburying men in unhallowed ground.
Oh no! I mean, the whole purpose of today's rituals is to give them the honor that they deserve. But it's true; it's not technically a churchyard. Those who died were not. They died, in many different belong to many different denominations or schools of thought. I mean, we're not making any distinctions according to that in the way they buried. They died on behalf of our nation.
Is the problem for this Mr. Biggs is he needs more hands? I mean, I will set to the task myself.
Do they need help identifying the people, or
we do have a good man in charge of that, Mr. Weaver, but you can talk to him as well. But as far as what Mr. Biggs needs and what his concerns are, you'd be best off asking him. Like I said, he hasn't really shared those with me. Has not quite taken me into his confidence yet entirely.
Would you care to speculate?
I would not care to speculate, sir.
Is that the nurse's stuff? Somebody in this room is like, you. What?
All right, so there are two handouts here. One is this reburial process, which details sort of the steps. So basically, step one is existing grave sites throughout the battlefield are scouted and mapped by Basil Biggs and S.G. Elliott, the map maker, who is a sidebar. I have a map that he made that I meant to bring today, but I didn't. I left it at home, so you don't have to pay.
About the red
has not
but
been
I like
about
this.
this since
FW
you
Bloodsucker.
Man, you guys don't get quite
Bloodsucker is a ghoul name if I ever heard one.
So anyway, they're scouted and mapped. They're exhumed from their present grave sites by Basil Biggs and his crew. They're identified by Samuel Weaver, loaded into coffins marked with identifying information. Union corpses are placed in coffins, transported to the cemetery, and Confederate corpses are reburied in place. At the cemetery, the coffins are buried according to the state of origin by...
Financially. You want to be a ghoul here, you want to be a ghoul there.
by James S. Townsend and crew. Unidentifiable remains are buried in the unknown section. And finally, there's a list of exhumed and reburial remains kept by Weaver and one by Townsend, and they compare them every day to check for any kind of errors.
Ghoulitism.
Who was the Townsend? Who was Mr. Townsend again?
Mr. Townsend is the guy in charge of reburying the coffin bodies.
Okay, thank you.
So,
in the
Better
cemetery.
kill them all.
who originated these rumors, or who knows more about?
Basil Biggs apparently is the guy who talked.
He's,
So we need to talk
and he's
to him.
here.
He is not located here,
Okay.
like right now. He is. You can talk to him tomorrow out on the
Okay.
job site.
Well, actually, where does he sleep? Do we actually know if he has a housing near his work, or if he's someplace further in town?
This one.
He lives on a farm east of town, but he currently is on the project is living in camp. Basically, he's camping out on site.
So, and just for the listeners at home, to give some historical context, for this game is set on November 19th, 1863. The Battle of Gettysburg was July 1st to July 3rd, 1863.
Yep.
So these corpses are 4 months old
That is correct.
that have been out in the elements during a hot
they're
summer.
fresh.
No, they're not fresh.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
4 months old. they're at their most disgusting
These
stage.
are at the.
Right in the window.
They're-
These are at the maggot
That's what I was saying, like,
loaded,
fresh.
horrible smelling.
these are the
Gaming.
How
They're at
cold is it right
maximum
now?
gaminess.
Have they started to
It
freeze
is-
up a little bit?
It's not like they actually did wait for cold. They
Yeah.
stopped for 2 months just so it wouldn't be too hot while they were doing it because it
Yeah.
was worse then.
Yeah.
It started again in November.
There's nothing.
But yeah, it's
disease.
It's really bad, and not. There's nothing
Suppose we
good
would
about
have a
it.
nice rest before.
And it was
the
the-
whole day at the corpse mine.
It was the best one for the coyotes ever.
Our numbers are up, sir.
No, I just want everybody to know exactly what we're getting into.
Oh,
these
that-
are
become
these are not
quite
like
evident.
Civil War movie casualties where they're just still like dudes that have just fallen
These
over.
are gooey corpses.
These are the most disgusting.
There's also a
corpse
handout
deaths.
someplace, I don't know where it got off to, of people, people of interest. So that has basically a list of all the different NPCs that might be worth talking to, pretty much. So,
referencing a number of things.
And we have some
I'm gonna
scratch
read-
notebook paper. If anybody needs it. Anybody need paper?
I got some in my.
All right. So yes. So yeah, out of character, my Elizabeth wants to find her husband's remains and get them buried.
Sorry, your husband's a ghoul now.
My husband died. Whoa, you don't know? Like that's kind of rude to presume. How do you know he's not just dead like tens of thousands of other people?
That just seems relevant. I don't know.
So I find your presumption insulting.
I think
Sir, I am a madam. So suck one.
I'm sorry. It was difficult for us to tell what
Not
was
in
the
public at this day and
trousers and
time.
everything.
I think that was
Most
exactly
unseemly.
that was very.
Out of character, I think I should go to somebody on the org chart alone at night
Since
I have to leave in like a half hour.
Yeah.
Kills.
See if they kill me.
and get killed.
So you can be our canary in the coal mine.
That'd be a strong clue.
Go pray for the corpses at night. Have a
Have a midnight mass.
The Presbyterians are known for their midnight mass.
So Aaron, are you going to provide
Strong
us
tradition in
This is why
space.
they aren't. They realize this is what
Yeah,
happened.
they used to be really big until like, I got eaten by ghouls.
Because my asthma theory is still the prevalent theory.
Yeah.
Like it's still the prevalent theory of illness transmission at this
So
point.
the ones that
Yeah,
were
but
the buried,
not-
they were just basically mass graves kicked into a pit, right?
There were a lot of different. It really depended on where you are. You
Oh,
could
really?
have specific graves, like well marked with like a headstone and or a head board or whatever.
Well, yeah, the general.
All to like a trench with like 75 guys in it. That you're not
Look,
quite sure
they
whether.
kick-started the production of some corpses, but it got out of hand. They weren't ready for the stretch goals.
Everything's you're just doing
They were
everything.
doing it live.
Speaking of this, on
Caleb, are you feeling
Saturday-
this pressure at this point?
June 4th, the Red Markets Kickstarter is still going strong.
Yeah.
Please
This won't be
don't.
posted until we're all logged.
Whoa, harsh.
So
Or
what you guys-
tomorrow. There's no telling.
So basically, each one of you guys has some sort of rational story or reason why you could be here at the gravesite. So at the project. So, for example, the widow could be here looking for her dead husband's corpse.
Yeah.
The newspaper guy could be here doing a story. The minister could be here just seeing, doing some sort of report for the Christian Commission to make sure everything's going well. Same with the doctor, basically, and the nurse, and the nurse could be here because the nurse actually was here right after the battle, caring for the wounded, just sort of see how they're going. And the invalid corps guy could be here because he was injured in the battle and is sort of checking.
Let's see our morality.
Yeah. And I could be here for the fresh meal. Oh, sorry, did I play my hand too soon? But consider I'm with the since I'm with the sanitary commission, so that probably is.
Exactly. You all have reasons that you could give people to why your cover stories that you could use.
I would like to go talk to the Basil gentleman.
All right. So the next day, basically, the rest of the day is spent. It's nonstop stuff going on for the cemetery consecration for the rest of the day. So you guys can sort of decide what you want to do the next day, and if you want to have some sort of strategy or planning, you can, or you can just get right to it the next morning.
Well, we have multiple people that we can look into, so if we wanted to split up for specific people, so
Yeah, might as well do that.
for that, so who wants to take Basil?
Why don't you just pick what you're going to do and then pass it on to the rest of us?
Honestly, I think I would rather go with our intrepid preacher since we are. Since I'm interested to see what the rumors behind this.
I think we all are. I mean, that's
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just all.
Does anybody have an extra piece of scrap paper?
Yeah.
yeah.
Just, I don't care what it
Nail
is.
your.
Whatever.
For something
Okay.
that's blank.
Okay.
The other stuff is.
It's
Don't know
fine.
if
Whatever.
This is important or not.
It's not. It's never important.
Okay, so
These are from Slasher Flick. These are all.
I go off by myself.
Chambers and
Don't you fucking dare steal my.
It's done. It's done.
God damn it!
Deal with it.
Do your interview. Fuck
Join the
you.
group. Conformist.
Chambers and Riddler are going to talk to Biggs. Anybody else going to talk to anybody else, or is
I am not by myself.
There is the
Anyone but Biggs.
So-
I walk into the woods alone.
I'm just gonna go with you with Biggs.
I think I'd like to talk with Mr. Elliot, the mat maker.
Sure.
I will talk to the Thorne family to see if they have my husband's remains there, and see if anything's been going on.
All right. Cutter is going to Elliot.
And I'm going by myself too,
All right.
because I'm in basically Punisher mode. I'm wearing a black dress. My family's dead, and I've got nothing but fighting skills.
God damn it, rough.
My dodge is 75%.
God
I'm
damn
going to use it.
Myself, I'm completely unarmed and will die.
All
I think
right.
I read that what if story. How that Punisher was a civil
Neil, I think I'll go with you.
I would read that comic.
got a skull and a veil.
Yeah. Or better yet, like a carpetbagger, like she like
Got hog legs and both hands.
She goes down to Reconstruction era style just to wreak havoc on it.
I would read the shit out of that.
That's like a quick,
Get on it, Marvel.
Tarantino revisionist.
Anybody else want to look at?
Where am I gonna go?
You're big.
You're going to go see Biggs with
I didn't want to. People are going with me.
He's
I
trying
wanna
to
go by myself.
suicide.
Damn it. Go with Aaron. I can't go by myself.
Alright.
Do you want to get by?
Hey, at
on
least
your
you're
own?
going with Aaron. That's about as close as you're going to get.
All I'm really good at is running.
It's true.
So what did Anna and David doing? What are
It
Dan and
really
David
is.
doing?
I mean, no offense, we're just going by what history has
I
taught
mean, truth
us.
be told, you're probably the thing that kills us. Sitting on the last Delta Green.
Whoa!
Whoa, but you literally murdered all of us.
Well, with David and me together, last time we played in a game that Ethan was involved in, we both got run over by an ambulance. So let's see if we can make that happen.
That was me.
And to be honest, I murdered two of you. You ran off insane. There's a difference.
Gotta say
Anyway,
though, the last time that I
which
played
team
in
you want to do
a
first?
Civil War
since
era game that
Dan
Ethan
and David
ran,
are still deciding what
I
they want to do.
critted my
let's
way
go
through
on.
the fight.
Very nice.
Okay, so let's talk to you. Mr. Chambers and Mr. Ridley are going. Dr. Ridley are going to go talk to Basil Biggs. You go out south of town. This is a poor.
What time of day is it now?
It is morning. It's
Oh,
the next
okay.
day. So
Okay, yeah.
you guys had a whole night to strategize. You came up with this brilliant plan.
Teacher eyes.
So.
How about we just go check out the overseer corpse identification?
So Basil Biggs is down scouting out right now a new, the next site that they're going to do the excavation at. So he's out there by himself.
Wouldn't that be what Elliot was doing, though?
Yeah, Elliot's doing. No, Elliot's actually in Gettysburg right now, just working on his map. So we'll talk to him in a little bit.
Well,
So here's general basic map to make up for the giant one that I forgot to bring. Here's the town of Gettysburg. South of it, here is the new cemetery, fairly close by south. Further south of that is where the current excavation is right now. And over here is where they're about to get started fairly soon, as soon as they finish.
How far does the
this
battlefield extend?
Way down here, about 5 miles or so. There were corpses everywhere, like
Whole
every
lot of
which
killing.
way.
Well, I knew that.
Just forever, for days. And
Battle of Gettysburg.
yeah, and but I mean, the fiercest fighting was right along basically this part
you
right
know,
here.
once we get to the medical shed, there are going to be it's not just corpses. Once we get to the medical shed, we are going to find a great big pile of arms and legs and
Are you find,
Looking for a
is
replacement?
Basil just walking around scouting around?
Yeah, he's
No.
out there. He's
until I find the right
he's
person to lend me a hand.
poking it. He's got a metal spike. He's been poking it in the ground, just making see and just making
Mr.
noise.
Biggs!
Yes. How can I help you?
Hello, Mr. Biggs. Mr. Chambers.
So,
this is Miss
Doctor.
Doctor.
It's like Dr. Ridley. So
Right.
I'm a physician with the U.S. Sanitary Commission.
Yeah, Reverend Doctor. So you're from the commissions, are you?
Yes, we were told you had an issue to bring to our attention.
Oh, did the president by any chance send you out?
Well, do we all have copies of the letter?
Yes.
I will just fold mine out. So
No, we had to share.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So we are on Mr. Lincoln's time, as it were.
Well, good. I'm glad to talk to you. Excellent.
Honestly, I do agree with this, but
well,
what I need to do is kick the door.
it's been a strange. There's a bit of strangeness out here. It's on this end.
Lincoln
of the,
sentence.
as far as I can tell, it's on this end of the operation. Well, I'm the one in charge of the exhumation, as you know, and things have been irregular.
Do you mind defining irregular? Because war, as you know, is an irregular business.
It certainly is, but specifically,
Jackass, come on.
specifically, I believe there's been some evidence of tampering at the graves of the buried on the battlefield. Someone is tampering with things out here in a very unusual manner that I can't quite explain.
Who would do such a thing?
I couldn't give you an idea of that. I can begin to, or even who would be capable of the sort of thing that I'm encountering out here.
Well, when
Now,
you
would you
when you
say
mentioned
tamper?
about Well, when you mention grave robbing, tampering, are you just suggesting grave robbing, though? Because that would be the first thing that would come to mind after a battlefield. There are the human vultures who would find valuables among the lost soldiers.
There was a good deal of that in the immediate aftermath of the battle, that's for sure. People coming through to pick through the fallen, shameful as it is, but it did happen. However, these issues that we're encountering now seem to be more recent, and well, I'll just show you an example here. I have this grave right here, poorly marked. Can't tell who would have been here. Gestures to a place right next to where he's standing, and you'll make.
In the meantime,
this.
we're calling it a Mr. Doe.
He pokes at it a couple of times with this big stick that he has, and the ground just kind of like sinks like a foot or two, like a small sinkhole or something, just right where the grave was. It is. It seems that in some of these places, not in every grave that we examine, but in many of them, we have this strange geological phenomenon here that the ground becomes spongy and cavitated, and it's unusual. It's certainly nothing that I would know from the geology of this area.
So nothing that would seem. Unless it's geologists at sea. Never mind. Anyway, so what of the bodies though that you've taken from these? That's like areas of unusual geological instability. And
that's the second part. Often we don't find bodies there in those areas where we would expect them to be. That's as though they've been disappeared, or they're just gone. Even in well-marked areas like this one.
So, yes, that was my question. Are these marked graves? Whereas, I mean, I can't imagine the level of sin that would provoke a man to do such an unconscionable crime, but are the graves marked? It would seem that a man with a marked grave would be a better target for some Philistine out to, raid the belongings of a dead man.
Well, my feeling would be the opposite, but it seems this phenomenon makes no distinction between marked and unmarked graves. It's a fairly rare thing, I must say. It's not like every single time, but enough to come to my notice, certainly.
Is it in a specific area at all?
No, I first noticed the first case northwest of town, and but a few up there. It seems like it's gotten more common recently down here in this area, but it's hard to tell because we've only covered about a third of the total battlefield so far.
Have you noticed any pattern among the areas that were of these graves that were emptied, so to speak?
Not a pattern to the empty graves. I have noticed something else, though. If you guys want to take a look at your interpersonal skills.
Charm?
Charm is actually a new...
Or persuade?
Yeah,
looking real good.
Well, to give him the note.
Rugged.
Yes. It feels as though he wants to tell you more, but he's not 100% sure that he finds you trustworthy. So,
Charm would work.
But letter from Mr. Lincoln, we are completely at your discretion.
Or persuade.
Yeah, rub it on his face. Seeing it enough wasn't.
Well, there's charm, fast talk, and persuade. Those are all skills.
And
I do have persuade, so I don't want to intimidate him. So see if my shitty rolling persists. No, it didn't. Thankfully, 48 out of 55.
Well, good doctor. I suppose as a medical man,
Your secret.
you're less likely to be shocked by this, perhaps, than some.
I've seen many atrocities on the battlefield.
Reverend, I do beg your pardon, but since you're also working here, I'll have to show it to you as well. But I'd like you to prepare yourself, both of you, for what may be somewhat disturbing. So he has a wagon out there, and he's a big sort of satchel, something wrapped in leather. He gets it out, puts it on the ground next to him, and takes the leather covering off of it. And so this will be a sanity roll.
Woo! Yay! Damn it.
Made it.
I made it too.
All right. So don't lose it.
Caleb's actively trying to suicide.
Come on,
It is calling.
It's a Cthulhu
It
one
is
shot
more
too.
fun when you fail.
then you just run towards death.
It's like traps in D&D. Who cares if you don't set the trap on? It's just 2 skill rolls if you don't set the trap.
It's gone.
Yeah,
Forget
it's
it.
gone.
Forget it, Neo. It's the queso dip. All right, excavate it like the corpses.
You come from like a food insecure environment? Eating shit off the ground? Were you raised in the Depression?
Nothing wasted. Nickels are ready too.
Anyway,
I don't like to waste food. It's very true.
so what do we what horror?
It appears to be some sort of sculpture made out of human hands. Like some
The hand
sort of,
witch.
some sort of fan interlocked thing made out of a solid dozen hands. If you look closely at it, it looks like they're all right hands.
Okay, so mine isn't in there.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll a cult on that.
Do it.
See what I can do as well.
Hand of glory.
That's fucked up.
Never seen anything like that.
You're both the guys of the cult, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're the 2 guys of the cult.
And I whiff.
Biology. How? What's the state of decay on
Those are
these?
hands, all right.
Because this is odd like that. How are they being preserved? And yes, 39 out of 50.
Okay, they all seem to be at a fairly similar state of decomposition. Like they were specifically chosen to be similar to one another from various different corpses. So someone picked them out and arranged them in aesthetic order. The corpses throughout this entire battlefield are in various states of decay. You can find out that it depends largely on what sort of soil they were buried in. So probably somebody surveyed the entire battlefield to assemble this collection of hands.
Have you shown this to anybody else?
No, I have not.
Where'd you find this?
I can actually mark on your map where it may be. It was northwest of the battlefield. It was early on in the project. In fact, finding this
Chambers goes running in that direction.
thing.
No.
In fact, this one was what?
God damn it again. Get the
We had
lasso.
some irregularities that I found before that, and when I found this little object here, this is when I decided I needed to bring it to the attention of the authorities.
Absolutely. This is just abominable. Whomever would do this, though. But for what reason, I wouldn't know. Hey,
Have you set a watch at night? If one was, God forbid, shopping around for these, one could not do it in the middle of the day, and you'd need to be able to do a close inspection of the remains. So
I personally,
they have to be doing it by lantern.
I personally sleep right near the site of the project where we're doing our current excavations, so that I can guard the this end of things. As far as the things that go on up in the cemetery, that's really not my watch, and I'm afraid, to some degree, I'm not welcome up there, and they wouldn't take kindly to me suggesting any change to their end of the things. The hierarchy involved, you understand.
So you think if this is being done, it's being done at the cemetery?
It's a possibility. It doesn't seem to be. I haven't seen any evidence of it being done here where I've immediately.
Where you found this? Was this underground? On this
Yes, I dug
display?
this out. I dug it up from an otherwise empty grave.
so it was that's like something that may have been left behind.
Yeah.
So, now, is there anything else odd that you might have noticed that could coincide with the appearance of this object?
Nothing that comes to mind. It seemed it's just itself, whatever it is.
So, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to see this for further study because this seems sadly fascinating, but also this might be able to help.
Be my guest. I recommend you keep it out of sight of the weak stomach.
Absolutely. So,
Good idea.
but we will do that.
The knowledge of this. Hey,
Man, I'm really hot.
Going to the store, huh?
Gonna say that.
Hey, do you need a candelabra?
See, we need to keep it out of David's hands. Yeah. 'Cause
Right.
he's just going to make puns with it all night long.
It's the wrong
Oh,
side.
I'm not the only one that would make puns with it all night long.
Yeah.
Or I'll try to
Don't
attach it.
forget, there is a man who is sitting directly to my right hand.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the big scene for now. Unless you have anything else you want to ask him.
Well, that's how are they attached, by the way?
They seem to have been wrapped together with the sinews of the arm muscles. So, like somebody peeled back the
Yeah.
He's
sinews
not one, huh?
and used those as.
So, like, woven around.
Yeah.
This thing's fucked up.
That
What
sounds
level
like,
of craftsmanship? Like, is this?
yeah,
like,
that is some rather impressive handiwork.
It looks.
Stop giving him opening.
It definitely,
Move on. We burn it.
it definitely looks deliberately crafted by someone who knew what they were doing.
Holy shit!
So yeah.
Hooked up.
Yeah, sure is. Okay.
Actually, medicine, somebody with surgical skills probably would need that, though, to be able to identify it.
Yeah, you'd think that. You'd think so.
So you saying you did it?
Remember, this is before Jack the Ripper.
Killer.
You got me. Good job. Game over. Nice seeing
We're like over 25 years away from
All right.
Jack the Ripper, so we
So-
don't even know about the idea of a serial killer yet.
I didn't catch what Dan and David wanted to do during this whole investigation thing.
Well, I think that we were going to be taking a look at, what was it, Mr. Weaver?
Okay, Dan and David. Well, let's go to Neil Cotter with Elliot first, and then we'll go.
Well, it's fairly obvious that
All right.
Aaron and Keith.
All right,
Where's the org chart?
The org chart is,
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
PLIs.
Yeah, I gotta remember what Elliot does.
Note to self, make 4 or 5 copies.
Yes.
Next time you run.
More
Basically.
like Geo-eyes. Because they're ghouls.
All right, so Mr. Elliot is the map maker. He's at his house. He works here at David Wills's house. He's making a map.
Jumping through the window.
Yes, Mr. Cotter, is it?
Yes, that's me. Well, Mr. Elliot, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
I understand you were in charge of mapping out the cemetery, is that correct?
That's correct. I'm in the process of making a map, an engraving that's going to mark all of the different places where they found the corpses throughout the battlefield, and also with explanatory charts and everything that show exactly where the major engagements on the battlefield are, all the major topographical features and everything, stuff that would make it really, really convenient to run a role-playing scenario of this in the distant future if someone were to remember
He's
to
a
bring
forward-thinking man.
if someone were to remember to bring it and not leave it at home in Jefferson City.
The origins of Grog. Before Grogs were Grogs.
But anyway, yes, that's what I'm doing.
It sounds it's a very fascinating project.
Yes, I've been sort of following the wake of the diggers and working on their official records, especially.
So, how's the job been proceeding so far?
Smoothly for me, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the reports that come into me. But I have heard that it's been a little confusing where they've found the masses of graves and where they have not found graves don't exactly correspond to where we were expecting them to be based on the battlefield action.
So Pickett's charge went from here to here, but we found the corpses of Pickett's men way over there.
More like we only found 3/4 as many corpses as we expected to.
Interesting.
Of people registered. I mean, obviously the records we have are much better on the Union side than on the Confederate side of who fell and how many. But still, it's evident that that we're missing bodies.
Well, I said it's been smooth going for you. Someone who works very closely with the other members of this team. Have you been running into any? Have you heard any grumblings, any rumors, anything out of the ordinary that they may be that may not be smooth going for others?
The only thing I can think of that seems unusual about the project as a whole is the financial aspect of things. The contract for exhuming the bodies offered by Mr. Wills with funding from the state and from the various states It was taken up by Mr. F.W. Biesecker. He was the lowest bidder on this. He had bid only however much it is. Oh, $1.59 per corpse. That's like half what the second highest bid was. The second lowest bid was. It's quite surprising to have one going in for that cheap. And then he turned around and hired.
Making $2 a corpse.
And then he turned around and hired Mr. Biggs to do the hard work. I have it on authority from Mr. Wills, who's checked all the books here, that Mr. Biggs gets pays $1.25 per corpse. So Biesecker is paying Biggs nearly all of the money that he gets for the project. It seemed like good business sense to me. I mean, I'm no expert in these sorts of negotiations. Who knows? Maybe Biesecker was simply acting as Mr. Biggs' agent, because a black man would not be able to bid on the project directly. But Biggs seems to be doing all the work and is making pretty much all the money. And it's just kind of unclear to me what Biesecker's role is in this whole thing.
Glad to hear that that black man is being able to sort of
Let's go visit him at night.
is able to get around some of the restrictions placed on the white society.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's good for him, I suppose. He's managing to. He seems to be a man of good business sense. So good for him, I suppose. But it's unusual for me.
Anything else unusual that you've noticed?
That's all I can think of for the time being. Just the irregularities in the graves and whatever is going on with Biesecker and Biggs.
Graves are massively out of place. Interestingness with Biesecker.
Mm-hmm.
Any aside from anything interesting, have you just heard any rumors about goings on about town recently?
Just the normal. All the festivities yesterday kind of got out of hand the night before. All the drunkenness and everything. There's kind of chaos, but
Consecration!
Things here. We can consecrate them.
Back in the 19th century, they didn't need an excuse to drink.
people sort of calm down on the day of. But you get 10,000 visitors in a town of 2,500 residents. It becomes a little spring breaky.
Everyone drank like fishes back then.
It's true.
There's a reason why we banned alcohol for a decade.
So they just like take carts of corpses through town and was like,
So every time you see a corpse, you take a shot.
Oh God, it was a drinking game that got out of hand.
So yeah, that did happen.
There's a book I want to read called The Alcoholic Republic, which is just like, America, what the hell? You drank way too much.
You need help.
Too much or not enough?
You need help, America.
Yeah.
Lincoln's Secretary of State apparently just got lit as hell and gave some crazy speech the night before about how much he hated the Confederates.
Also, Grant.
So he was the Biden of his day.
Yeah, no. Grant's what you called a functional alcoholic.
That's true. He actually did, in fact, only drink when he didn't have to fight. Grant was very responsible.
Now, the way I look at it, there is you're only an alcoholic if you drink so much alcohol that you cannot function. So a functional alcoholic is a misnomer. It doesn't really exist. He was a drinker. He could drink, but he also knew how to not drink when he didn't. Yeah.
I want to see if I
David,
can't
let's be honest. If you go to Grant's tomb and throw a match, it's going to go up like a fire, like a Roman candle. Okay? Even to this day.
Lincoln said, so people were complaining about Grant drinking so much, and they're like, well, Grant, he gets results, he wins battles, so I'm just going to find out what kind of whiskey he drinks and send that to all of my other generals.
This is a true statement.
Fun fact,
And Sherman took that whiskey and made Molotov cocktails.
What was it?
It was Old Crow, which is why I have a bottle of it.
Well, I guess I should.
It was his favorite whiskey.
I should have some of that.
Yes.
Although I'm guessing they may have changed the formulation.
Just a smidge.
Apparently back then, old
There's
Crow.
less lead.
Back then, old Crow.
That's what
apparently
gave it its
amazing.
bite.
Now it's just Jim Beam doesn't make the cut. It's whatever.
Literally,
not,
actually, it's bottled by the Jim Beam.
not good enough to go into Jim
Oh,
Beam.
never mind.
But okay, so
yeah,
that is
So you're basically
I
saying
would
it's
like
the
one last
Nasani
thing.
of Jim Beam?
yeah.
And that is to because I am good at sort of ferreting out the truth
Uh-huh.
from people. I just want to see if I can maybe make a roll to see if I feel like he's not
Roll
rolling.
psychology.
Confess.
And that is a yes. That is under a fifth is a
So that is
success,
a
right?
crit success.
That
He
is
is
12 out of 69.
He's telling you everything he knows, but you get a feeling that this whole financial thing would be a very, very good thing to investigate. There's something.
No
weird about
way!
that.
Really?
Follow the money?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that there is a murder that was done by one half of a married couple, and the spouse shouldn't be the first person we suspect.
All right. So Dan and David are going to go talk to Weaver, right?
Yeah.
What about me? I'm talking to the Thorn
Oh,
family.
and you're number 4 and a lot of you split the party.
Okay. All right. I get it.
The Thorn family are important.
Have the woman go last. I see how it is. Have the widow go last.
All right. So
You're going to go Punisher on them.
You
so-
need Punisher.
Yeah.
I will have you know, you're a widow, I'm an orphan.
Yeah.
That means that I'm just slightly higher than you in the hierarchy.
Maybe in
Yeah.
the kill death.
So you guys go to the current excavation site. You arrive there.
An
and
orphan amputee.
Or you could play the game.
You could roll sanity is what you can do. Both of you guys.
Yeah. Oh, both of us. Oh,
Yeah.
Immediately. That's
Oh
great.
yeah.
Because they're excavating the bodies.
That is a no. 66 out of 35.
All right. Lose 2 points of sanity if you fail.
Well, doesn't he lose more because of
93 out
his,
of 50.
Oh yeah, you
Because
lose
of my shell shock.
extra 1, so extra lose
So
3.
3.
He failed as well.
Okay, so you lose 2.
You lose 2, I lose 3.
For crit, there's a new mechanic in Call of Cthulhu 7th that I just remembered. Luck is now a pool. So in addition to making luck rolls like in the old school, you can also spend luck. So if you, like, say you fail roll by like 5, you can spend 5 luck to make that roll, but you permanently reduce your luck score.
what does our luck start at?
You all need to roll it. I'll let you guys roll it. So roll 3d6. D6 is out. Roll 3d6 and multiply that by 5. And that's how much luck you have. So
Do you need D6s?
I do. I only brought D10 with me today. Thank you.
sorry, everybody. I was going to do that at the very beginning of the scenario.
Well, that's learning game mechanics.
Learning.
36 times 2.
5 times 5.
5. Okay.
3d6 times 5.
9 times 5 is
4.
6. So now you're. You said 3d6 times 9?
3d6 times 5.
5, okay.
What did you roll? What
I
did
think
you
I'm going to use the easy roll of dice.
8,
cup for
so
this.
40.
840, yeah.
Okay.
14.
So you can spend the, and it's
70.
also going to be every time you make
And
a
less
luck roll,
30.
that's where you're going to try to roll under your current
Oh
luck.
god, this sounds like such a horrible idea.
Were you recording?
And by horrible, I mean like.
There's a whole thing for
right
luck.
under hit points up in the top. All right.
It says luck.
So the
How 0 is out of luck.
Peyton. You know what it also rhymes
multiply
with? Peyton.
yeah.
Puck, the mythological character.
So
I
Nurse
played him once in a production of Shakespeare in the Park.
Nurse Burton and Private Thomas.
Oh, so this is where they identify the bodies.
Yep, that's about the size of it. It is an incredible smell, like not even like what you remember from the hospital. At least then it was fresh blood and fresh wounds. And
It's like our honeymoon.
only rarely smelled like rotten flesh. This is this is an awful scene. They've got about a dozen bodies just stacked up kind of in a row next to a bunch of holes in the ground. There's one thing that sort of alleviates, it's the singing of the workmen. They're going, singing a nice rousing rendition to Swing Low Sweet Chariot as they dig methodically through the dirt, and there's a white man standing next to the crew with a hat on his head, a long hat, iron hook in his hand, and a notebook. And he's writing in the notebook, standing next to a pile of corpses and a wagon with a bunch of coffins on it. And this is Samuel Weaver. He sees you approach. Hello, madam and good sir.
Hello, Mr. Weaver. I am Nurse Burton. I am here on behalf of the President and the U.S. Sanitary Commission.
How are you? What issue does the president have?
Oh, just we've been hearing some rumors of some strange going-ons concerning the project, and we're just following up with trying to figure out what you have heard, since you're overseeing such a critical role of this project. If there were anything worth knowing, you'd be the man to know it.
May I see some official documentation to this?
Letter.
We're not the only person that's kept the president out of it so far.
This
Like we were asked to.
This seems to be in order.
Well, we were asked to be discreet.
Right.
We're not screaming from the rooftops. That counts as discreet.
Well, I can tell you what I've seen out here. My job out here is primarily identification of the remains. It's a very complicated job. I have to pick through each body. That's what the hook is for. And see if I can find any kind of...
You wouldn't want to touch that.
For any kind of... any kind of material I can use for identification. Sometimes the bodies are so far gone that you can't even tell whether they're Confederate or Union. Until you pick down through them and get to the underwear, you can usually tell from then. Say what you will about Uncle Sam, the Army buys good drawers for its sons. Not what you could say about the Rebs. So that's how I can usually tell our boys from theirs, if nothing else. But sometimes that's as best as I can do. Other times it's straightforward. You see, like this corpse right here looks as fresh as the day it was buried.
That seems slightly odd.
Well, it's soil conditions primarily. You bury somebody in dry, sandy soil. The water and fluids leach out of the flesh, and it preserves it for much longer. You bury something in damp soil, loamy soil like that, you're likely to get a skeleton by this time. But what you're not likely to get is this here that we're seeing. He points through one of the other corpses lying there. You see this? See this fella's legs here? The corpse primarily is in good condition, but down here, it looks like, actually, as he points out to it, that the flesh has been sort of eaten away. Literally. Like
not just dissolved away?
Yeah, like gnawed on by something.
It's not uncommon for carrion animals to feed on the corpses.
True. And first few times I saw this, I assumed it was just people buried too late or buried too shallowly that dogs or pigs had gotten to, which is the case for the majority of these this sort of thing. But this fella right here, for example, he was buried a solid 4 feet down, and you can tell from the condition of the rest of the corpse he wasn't left out in the sun for any length of time. My reckoning is he was probably buried the third day, like the actual day of the battle, right away. And yet, down in his hole, something has gotten to him and has consumed parts of him. So
These bites, are they mole bites, maybe?
moles don't eat flesh. Moles eat roots and grubs.
Badger? I'm not there, sorry.
Something equally subterranean.
Do you have natural world as a skill?
I do not.
That would be the skill to know.
That's true.
Look,
What's that to base 10%?
I think you're right.
I've heard of animals.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Default rules don't work.
Fortunately, though, there is that NPC who does seem to know a thing or two about it because he pointed out.
I don't know what to make of it, honestly. I mean, I've been seeing this from place to place on the battlefield, and I don't have a good explanation. I'm just telling you what I see.
Maybe if we take something like that to the doctor, he will be able to understand it.
It's possible.
Considering that doctor, probably not.
Whoa!
So, This is
Come on,
the,
Aaron doesn't roll like Caleb.
This is the
Ages.
No one rolls as bad.
this is the evidence that I'm seeing. You want to talk about irregularities? There's this, and often Mr. Biggs tells me that sometimes he just doesn't find bodies at all where he's expecting them to be. Sometimes we dig down there into the earth, and it's nothing like some kind of sponge or something like that, as though it's already been dug out. It's very strange.
Now, when he digs down that far, when you say that there's nothing there, like there should be a body there,
That's right.
is there a hole leading off in a direction?
Nothing's in evidence. It's not like a cave system or anything. Just empty earth and this sort of unusual spongy texture to it.
Well, Mr. Weaver, bodies don't up and vanish.
You're talking to a guy who knows that for sure. It would be a lot more convenient for all of us if they did, of course. We have 3,000 corpses we're going to have to take care of. I would love to see them all vanish. But anyhow, if you have no further questions for me, I must say I'm quite busy. I have to keep the line moving, you see.
Are there any individuals working on this project that we should be wary of?
I mean, I'm not a... before the war, I would say I was a prejudiced man, like normal. Working so close to the folks here on the project, I think, has given me a great respect for Mr. Biggs and his people. I think those are folks you can trust.
Fair enough.
Now, are there folks here that you can't trust? People that you wouldn't, say, share a meal with or sit down with if you had a choice?
Well, I'm going to make you roll for that to get him to come clean on that, because he's not going to talk bad about people his
fast
bosses
talk.
or anything.
Or
Sure.
persuade.
Come on, help me out here. Lend a hand.
All right.
Come on.
50 out of 55.
All right.
Nope.
All right. Well,
Spend your luck.
Mr. Thomas, you know how it is
I
to be
made
the Mr. Low Man on the totem pole and everything. That's kind of what I am. I don't get paid much, and I got a hard road to hoe. Mr. Beesicker sits up there in the gatehouse, in the comfort, luxury up there. Makes, 50 cents on the dollar each one of these corpses. I know he gave Biggs a good deal. Biggs talks about it. He's kind of surprised by it himself, he says. But, I don't know. In my mind, he's getting free money up there, sitting on his hands, watching all of us do the work. He's supposed to be in charge of this whole thing. I don't know. He does jack all. Might be worth talking to. I don't know.
Perhaps we should talk to Mr. Beesicker next.
Sure.
All right. But, at the end of that conversation, let's go over to Elizabeth.
The Punisher.
Elizabeth
Well, we've
is
never gotten that.
finally talking.
Yeah.
The Thorne family are the cemetery keepers at the Evergreen Cemetery. So right next to the new cemetery is the old cemetery. The Evergreen Cemetery was there before the war. And Elizabeth Thorne is it Elizabeth Thorne?
Yeah, Elizabeth Master.
Why do I see him picking up the baby going, swear to me?
She's,
You moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies.
Elizabeth Thorne is the wife of the cemetery keeper, but the cemetery keeper is gone. He is in the army and he's down in Virginia right now, so she's in charge of this whole thing. So the gatehouse at the Evergreen Cemetery is a big brick structure built like two different houses connected together at the top with an arch to form a big gate. She lives on the right-hand side.
Okay. Do I see her walking about yet, or scrub?
As you approach the house, you can roll me a spot hidden check.
Ooh. Spot hidden. I have that at 55%. Let's see if it matters. I get a 3. I see all.
Yes, smell all. Actually,
Okay.
Makes sense.
That's an impale. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a distinctive chemically odor that you cannot identify that's coming from the other side of the gatehouse, not the one where the Thorns live,
Okay.
but to the west.
I investigate this strange odor.
All right. It's something that seems to be wafting up around the edges of the foundation,
Okay.
like it was coming from a lower story below the gatehouse.
A lower story below the gatehouse. So like the basement or something like
Yeah.
that? Okay. Are there basement windows or something? Okay.
Nope, just sort of like just coming up around the edges of
The foundation?
foundation.
Okay. That's odd. Well, I'll knock on that building. See if anyone's there.
That one, rather than
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one? Okay. You knock on the building. There's nobody answers.
I tried the door.
It is locked.
Okay.
Now you break
No, it's
in.
not locked. It's not locked.
Okay.
It's not locked.
I open the door.
Break into a cemetery.
All right.
Yeah.
You go in. You see yourself on the first floor of a fairly well-appointed house. There is a couple of places where you can see the walls have been repaired from bullet shots and cannonballs that came through during the battle.
Nice.
But you see some personal effects lying around of someone, and a picture on the photograph on the wall of a young man in uniform.
Okay.
You could probably roll something to try to figure out what's going on.
Like education, maybe? What's
spot hidden.
Cthulhu Mythos.
another? Wow, that's really quick. I was Caleb. You should have come to the Thor family. Yeah, I make it. Normal success, but a
You
41.
see some things indicating these are the personal possessions of one Mr. F.W. Wieseker, the guy in charge of the project.
Okay.
And there is a inscription. It folded up a little sort of letter right against this photograph. The photograph, by the way, is trimmed in black lace, as though it were a morning photograph.
Okay.
And right below it is a letter, which, if you take a close look at it, looks like a letter to Mr. Wieseker from his son, talking about how his unit has come to Gettysburg to fight in the, and there's probably going to be a big battle. He wanted to assure his father that once the battle is over, since they're in the local area, he'd be able to come visit him. But he's sure the Union will be victorious, and he's hoping that they'll be safe afterwards.
Okay. Well, it looks like the way the photos and pictures frame it, I'm guessing his son is dead.
Yeah, that'd be a real good guess.
Yeah. All right. I will make sure the letter's back. Do I hear anything coming from below, or is the smell
Roll me
stronger?
a listen, if you have listen. Listen.
Well, I just have it at base.
Okay.
Elizabeth is a spotter, not a hearer. She's also a fighter and speaks Latin, and I fail that. 34 out of 20.
Okay. No one to spin luck.
How much luck would I have to spend? I'd have to spend enough.
14.
I'd have to spend 14. Nah. I'm fine.
You don't hear any obvious sounds coming from anywhere around. If you want to poke around a little bit more, you could.
Is the smell stronger in here or weaker?
It's a strong. Actually, it's a little stronger in here.
A little stronger in
Noticeable.
Okay.
It's weird chemically. Ammonia, maybe, or I don't know.
Okay.
Would you say that something smells fishy in here?
No. Well, I will sneak to the door of the basement.
All right.
This is a good idea.
It is a good idea. I'm hoping that the sexism of the era will protect me. Oh, I'm
Trying to go off by myself. But I got railroaded into going with Yahoo over there.
Who gave you information?
I didn't want information.
The Terminatrix here, however.
A candelabra.
I will spend luck to. I will spend 8 points of luck to make that a
That's a good
60
one.
out of 68.
All right. So you're sneaky.
Yes, I
All
am
right.
sneaky.
You are sneaky as heck.
What is it?
A candelabra.
Candelabra.
Nice.
Can you use luck to push yourself into an impale?
I guess.
That would be like burning a lot of it,
Yeah,
though.
you know what? Sure, I'll say. I don't think that's covered there. Oh, by the way, there is another thing you can do as well. In addition to spending luck, you can also, if you fail a roll, you can push the roll.
Okay.
Which is you basically explain why you would be taking a second shot at something.
Okay.
And then
Oh, double or
you
nothing.
you up the stakes. So
Okay.
something, if you fail, you agree something bad's going to happen.
I actually did read. To find out what charm did, I read that, and it says if you fail to push someone with a charm skill, you fall in love with them, and they can control
It's
you.
one of the options. Maybe
Yeah.
they charm you. Maybe they are so repulsed by you that they call the police.
No, it specifically says they can control you, like if you
Right.
fail the charm
yeah.
check.
Yeah, that's
Because you just like get a puppy.
So
come on,
you
please.
find the door to the basement is
anything.
locked.
Yeah. It is locked.
Yeah.
You're at the door.
Yeah. So for example, if you were trying to pick the lock, if you failed and decided to push the roll and then failed again, then maybe you would like break the lock permanently. Or,
I have locksmith at 1%. I'm not going to try that.
not your job.
I will listen at the door.
All right.
25 out of 20. I could spend 5 more points here.
Come on,
but I
boss.
can't open it, so it doesn't
new
really matter.
mechanic. There's a
I already used it to sneak.
There's a juicy clue on the other side of that door.
I can't. It doesn't matter. I can't open it. There's no key. I don't have the key.
Yeah,
What's her
Listen
strength?
to what's going on.
Her strength is 50, so she have a decent shot. But
You
no.
may have met an intrepid reporter who was decent. At,
I will
tickling
come
the
back.
lock.
I will close the door.
right.
I'm still sneaking out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see a key, and there's no other way into the basement that I can tell.
Oh, come on now,
Not
boss.
that's
What
obvious.
was Sheldon
Yeah.
Baker, ace reporter?
Well, I'm not Sheldon Baker. I'm Elizabeth Vincent, the soon-to-be widow Punisher. So I will go knock on the door.
You tell me that you're not going to shoot the lock off and just go in?
I don't have a gun, and she only has a horse
All right.
and a riding crop.
So
And everyone knows that horses don't have very good attack rolls.
All right, so you're gonna go check the Thorne family. Then. So you knock on the door. You get
Yeah.
answered by Elizabeth Thorne.
right.
She has like 3 children behind her. 2 sons, like aged like 8 and 10,
Okay.
and an infant daughter. Kind of she's holding. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hello. My name is Elizabeth Vincent. My late husband died in this battle. and
Yes,
I
I'm so
was-
sorry for your loss.
And I've come here to determine if his remains have been put to rest.
Well, I'm glad you're doing so. That's a noble effort of you, ma'am. But it is fairly early in the project right now, so I don't know if they would have found your.
Is there a list of names in this cemetery yet?
They, Mr. Thompson should have a list of everyone who's been buried so far. in the cemetery. That's right across the road. Over
Oh,
there.
I see. I knocked on the wrong house. Who does someone live across from there?
Yes, that's where Mr. Biesecker lives.
Oh.
He's as he's running the project here, he's in residence, so I keep a close eye on him. Oh, and in fact, that reminds me, he is out right now.
Yes, no one answered.
Mr.
I
Thompson
didn't
is
go.
down with the smallpox, has been for a couple of days now, and I believe Mr. Biesecker's taken over his duties of keeping
Who's come down with
accounts.
smallpox?
Mr. Thomas,
I see.
Thompson, he's the guy who normally counts the bodies as they're buried, records all that stuff. Mr. Biesecker said to step in for him.
Yeah, I smelled something odd when I approached the house. I thought perhaps something might be amiss.
Can't say I know what it is you're talking about.
Some sort of strict, I wasn't sure what it was. I thought perhaps a smoldering fire had started and was burning something. But
I don't know. I mean, there are certainly all kinds of wonderful smells you'll encounter in the course of the
yes,
town.
I suppose you would.
I do recommend one of these if you're going to be out on the project. It's a little satchel. It smells like peppermint and pennyroyal.
Ooh, I will take that.
And yes, it'll help you when you're out and about.
All right.
$5.
Well, I will chat with her for a little bit.
All right.
And kind of try and get a sense of I kind of basically I just want to make sure everything's going. This place seems so peaceful now. It's hard to believe, blah blah blah. I mean, everything's peaceful, right? Nothing untoward has been happening.
Oh yes.
So gossip,
At
trying
all.
to get as much.
You can roll
Charm?
So your
psychology.
age around here?
Can I use charm?
You can use charm.
Yeah.
Try to get her.
You didn't give me psychology. I know nothing about other people. I only know murder.
I have become murder.
I make that 70 out of 80.
Charming though. Well, she
But
says.
I'm very charming, yeah.
Well, between you and me, Miss, there's something going on with Mr. Biesecker.
There's something going on.
I don't think he's said some things to me and to my children. I'm not
Did he
happy.
make untoward advances to you?
No, nothing like that. Just Just a very subtle
wish it was just
threats.
Threats?
Yes, as though I asked him about, the smell you talked about. I've noticed it too.
Oh.
And I asked him about it once, and he became very guarded. And sort of vaguely implied that it would be better for my sake and for the sake of my children if we were to just not pay any attention or any mind to that. And
Ignore me!
And then, do you know what that cad did? He implied that I had relations with unmarried man.
Whoa, that's pretty serious. I see that as most unchristian of him. Is there? I'm traveling with some cousins, and I will tell them. And if anything happens to you, please let me know.
by all means, I'm sure
Someone
he's
else
just,
who's discreet.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Perhaps he's just remains upset and he's mentally troubled by the loss of his son. I
supposed
know
to
he
wave
took
it
it
at
very
everybody, right?
hard when his boy
Flicks it to a fight
died in
ball.
the battle.
Oh yes, grief does strange things to people.
Yes, it was an awful sight. He said he told me afterwards. He was speaking of it afterwards. His son was blown to bits.
Was he at the battle as well?
Well, he was in town, and right
I see.
after the battle, he was.
He saw.
Right immediately afterwards,
Oh.
he went to check on him, and yes, I fear he took a shell nearly directly on.
Oh my.
And, so that could destabilize even the solidest and most tender-hearted men to see something like that. I mean, I know the horror as well. We buried upward of 300 bodies ourselves in the aftermath of the battle right here in our
Yeah.
cemetery.
In 400 graves.
Yeah.
It was awful.
It is. It's quite tragic. There's a minister who is visiting to help consecrate a Reverend Chambers. Yes. Perhaps Mr. I should have him consult with Mr. Biesiker to put his mind at ease.
That's
I must have tried and pray.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pray for like an hour. Peace out. So you guys will be fine when I come back.
Oh yeah, no,
Nothing will have gone wrong.
no, we're good.
We're fine. I mean, what bad could happen?
The code word to end your interview is,
well, if you are-
oh God, help us, Caleb.
If Mr. Biesiker ever does anything untoward again, or makes you feel unsafe, let me know. I'm staying at such and such a place, and I will send help.
That's very kind of you.
No, at a time, I know we need to stick together.
Need to stay together.
We're both suffering.
Women folk need to stick
So
together.
that's probably the day's worth of interviewing for everybody. So y'all go back to Mr. Wool's house where
And we share
And
information.
we all agree that Biesiker is a son of a bitch.
Yes. Yeah.
Some arrows pointing.
Yeah. Let's go creep in. Let's go.
Let's go poke our collective noses
Well-
in all of his business.
Well,
You
there's
say you can work a lock.
I may have had to tickle a couple locks in my time. Pursue the story.
We're not
Well,
gonna
there
need
is
a pickle, we're
something
gonna
that
need a bowl,
the good Reverend and I discovered while talking to Mr. Biggs, and okay, pray you, it is outside because I fear not bringing it in due to the smell and also the abject nature of it. Although I will need some time to study it, but I would suggest to brace yourselves for.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Is this?
Are you
what
going to show us, make us all make sandwiches?
Yeah, do it. That's for everybody.
No. I've already had a hard enough day. I'm going to step outside and have a cigarette.
We're doing this outside.
I'm going to step inside and have a cigarette.
Luckily, you
Oh,
know,
I failed that.
All right.
I fail as well.
So 1d4 if you fail.
A D4. I will use the sharp dice from easyrollerdice.com.
Yes, it impales.
Yeah.
And how much do they pay you every time you say their name?
They don't.
95.
He's a review. I believe in the product.
I see.
Look at this. You could really hurt someone.
That is
It is a
honestly
really pretty die.
in all honesty, that is a gorgeous die.
Yeah, and that set is fairly well priced for Middle Dice. On their website, it retails for around $45. But
all I know is this
they are going to have
D4 is really fucking sharp. This would go through your foot if you stepped on it.
Yeah, that is a
Assuming it's the
caltrop
word
D4.
caltrop.
So
Yeah.
anyway who hasn't seen this sucker before gets to make himself.
I lost 2 sanity.
Yay.
I lost a sanity.
I lost 4.
You lost 4. Big 4. That is.
Oh, I have some
missed.
water in my fridge.
That was dangerously close to a temporary.
Not happy with that. Okay, so yeah, it's the candelabra, as it were.
And to glory. Does anybody else have a cult?
Can I make another occult roll to see if anything comes to mind?
You can push the occult roll. If you fail this, then you're just going to have some disinformation that will lead you astray.
So shouldn't you make the roll and basically?
Yeah, you're right. So that's a good point.
But that's 23, so if I push the roll,
Your
that's
cult
going to be...
is 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
You
your...
probably
5. I
so
don't
you
have.
probably don't want to.
Hey, I'm gonna give it my level best try.
I do
At
speak
my
Latin.
base occult, but hey, I could always get lucky. I did not get lucky.
Occultism wasn't really big in the 18th.
No.
America.
And spiritualism.
Spiritualism was.
Let me see if I can get into that 5% with the Easy Roller Dice Cup.
Veritone Lincoln herself was big into that stuff.
Yeah, well, you're right.
No.
There's a lot of hands.
That's
a
close
lot of
enough
these
that you
hand
could throw
things.
luck at
This
it.
is not
I
spiritualism.
only have 20.
Well, okay, I'd say...
I actually
So
could
pushing it, I think...
throw luck at mine to bring it down.
I think we should push this because it's a new mechanic we haven't tried
Do
yet.
it. Go for the push.
So,
But
alright.
Damn it, Aaron. Why
we take like all my luck.
This is just misinformation. So,
Which will kill us all.
Which is kind of the point.
yeah. So, again, pushing it. We'll see how this rolls. Truly random.
Death or glory?
Oh no, it was 33. Damn, I'm like 10 over.
Spend
that luck.
Spend your luck.
It was like 10 to get that.
Spend that. Yeah.
It's a one shot, Aaron.
You know what? Fine.
It is a one shot.
So I go down to 30 luck.
30 luck. Keep track of that.
Yeah.
Mark it.
I've marked it. Where's the
It's
sign?
a big
up
thing
there.
that says luck.
I didn't see that. So.
Yeah.
Oh, the luck.
Luck
Yeah.
points, right.
Sorry.
Like hit points and sand points and.
This is
Magic
sheet. I'm not
points.
used to this. Anyway, 30.
All right, we get to all use magic.
Cool. Okay, so this
Well, it looks
thing.
like we've got a hand of glory.
It was geomancy, is what you think. Things buried in a particular area like this. Maybe its location was important, but
As a
also
marker of some sort?
yeah, maybe or a coordinate or a ley line or something like that.
Or it's a hand made out of hands.
Made out of human hands is new to you, but as far as burying objects of occult significance, usually it's a geomantic thing. You're trying to do something for the area.
As a protective or...
They're trying to give the spirits of the area a hand.
What if Mr. Bessaker is trying to communicate with his dead son, or he believes he is?
What kind of
First
utter
Caleb's
nonsense
character
is
is the
that?
person
Well,
asked
many
about
people
cult.
believe that you can speak to the dead.
Yeah, just reach out a hand towards
So
them.
perhaps this is part of this, some sort of method to reach out.
And touch his son.
Well, it's not about whether it's true or not, or whether it's he believes it. Mr. Beesicker is acting odd. He is. There's some sort of financial shenanigans he is up to, and this strange odor I've perceived from his house.
But we may need to know more about his background because I've taken a look at this. This takes a surgeon skill to be able to do this to human remains.
He has the most money out of anyone on this project.
So he could have
And
learned,
he
or he
is
could have
making
hired
more
a
of it,
surgeon.
hand over fist, without having to raise a single hand.
Gotta hand it to him.
Yes.
That one was entirely on accident. I didn't set him up for that one on purpose.
All fingers point at Beesicker.
See how easy it
Damn.
All the right fingers.
is? All the right fingers.
All right, so anyway, you guys
Guys, hands off.
after this enlightening discussion and sharing of
Hey, puns were a very high form of humor.
that's right of
Still are.
yeah
You tell me.
intel. You all go to bed. You're all crammed into the Will's house. It's a pretty big place. He's a rich dude, but so he's got rooms. Sure. You guys got to go to a room. So the ladies are together.
Yeah.
And the gentlemen are
I inquire about shotguns. and rifles. Are there any kept on the premises?
Mr. Will said he would be happy to equip you with anything you feel like you need. He is surprised by your inquiry.
I have my personal Derringer. It's fine.
Well, I don't have
that
handguns.
1d4, and they're really going to get you.
1d6.
Okay.
On the other hand, I am
shots.
particularly skilled with those. I have a revolver.
That's it.
No, my character is 65% in rifles and shotguns.
Yeah.
So I just want to know. I don't need it right now. I just want to know.
Future reference.
Just
for
future
context.
reference.
Yeah. they
Mr.
would be-
Beesiger threatened a
they-
widow.
They would be available.
I'm a widow.
She's not a widow. Her husband.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, well, probably going to assume to be widow. Let's be fair.
Thanks. Real nice.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
statistically speaking,
Wait, my hat pin is considered a weapon?
Yeah. Actually, this was like an
Yeah?
early. It's
Okay.
interesting historically. It was used as an anti-rape device. People.
The pin that you have to hold your hat on, it's not a little bitty pin. It's a long pin about this big.
Yeah.
It's really, really thick that basically you put your hat on, you put the pin through the bun, and it holds your hat in place, but it holds all of the hat. So it's a single pin, about a foot long,
Yeah.
needle sharp. It's a stiletto.
It's a small, yeah.
It was recommended by ladies as a personal defense item in the late 1800s. To the extent that there later were like laws passed to like try to prohibit women from using them because they'd stab guys with them if they catcalled them or full-whistled them and stuff. So they're like, these ladies should not have personal defense items. Like, you know how it is.
Because we should be able to catcall them without repercussion.
Getting stabbed. Yeah, pretty much. That was the size of it. But yeah, so yeah, you can use your hat pin as a weapon.
Sure, MRA has a lot of things to say about that.
So, at about 4 a.m., there's a knock that you hear at your door. You and who's the other person who was? Oh, it was Caleb.
I
so into my room.
That's right.
Since I suffer from strange dreams about subterranean caverns fairly often, is tonight one of those nights where I have a nightmare and or insomnia?
Yeah, we'll get to that. In just
But
a
is
second.
it on my door, though?
Yeah, you get a knock on your door. It is Mr.
Yes?
Mr. Elliot, the map maker.
One
Oh, you guys. Let's say you guys are in there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
one moment, just getting on my robe. Just,
Yes, Mr. Biggs has brought something to our attention. I think you might like to take a look at.
absolutely. Just let us get ourselves prepared. So, where is Mr. Biggs?
He's right outside the back door.
Oh, well, that's for me there, so no problem.
Yes, you go down to the back door. In the darkness, you see Basil Biggs standing there. He's holding some sort of object in his hand.
Mr. Biggs, so, are you okay? It seems to be late of the hour to...
Yes, Dr. Ridley, I felt like this couldn't wait. Something that you ought to see.
Is it something similar in nature to what you showed us the last time?
It is indeed. Take a look. He unveils it. It is a similar-looking thing. Another collection of hands. This time left hands. Left hands.
Where did you find this one?
I could. That's why I woke Mr. Elliot. I'd like. There's a particular. I'd like to be able to show on the map where I.
Absolutely, yes. If you may bring your considerable cartography skills to bear.
I'll leave this thing out here. I don't want to bring it into the house.
No. We actually have been set. We have an area where we set the other one.
Put it next to the other one. Sure. Okay.
Next, we get the torso made of hands. The full collection.
Go into
No, that would be
the.
a torso made of torsos.
Go into Elliot's
a
room.
leg made of feet.
Go into Elliot's room, and he breaks out the map, and Biggs indicates that
I
there
do
was
not
a
want to see that double ender.
area down here where he found he was scouting a new area out there, southeast of town, near where the old field hospital was,
for all the ladies.
and found this thing, just like you found the other one, similar place in the ground.
So, what's the distance between the right hand and the left hand?
A good.
Well, now about 3 feet.
fair 4 or 5 miles, I'd say overall.
So, whoever took this knew it's like had a specific area in mind of where to put these.
Right.
So,
Where did Mr. Bessiker's son die?
He died on Little Round Top.
Where is that on the...
Which is somewhere around down here.
Okay.
Sit right in the middle.
It is not... No, it's not on the line between the two.
It is, however, on a parabolic arc if you calculate x as 3.
It should be, because I think there was Big Round Top that made one end of the Union line, which
That's
formed a
correct,
great big
yeah. Down on the south end of the Union line, Big Round Top and then Little Round Top. And Little Round Top was basically the fiercest fighting of the second day. That's where the Pennsylvania volunteers sort of like made a heroic charge. Especially
and they actually had the
because they were
swinging
the
door
guys.
maneuver where they basically wrapped around.
That was actually the second Maine that did that. The swinging door thing that actually probably won that part of the battle.
So taking the inherent symbolism, what's being held between here, though, if these are two?
Hard to say. I mean, you can plot a line between the two of them and see where it goes on the map, but it's not obvious that it intersects with any of the sites that you've seen so far.
Well, we only have 2 data points. We have an incomplete picture. There could be, multiple other things. But logically, it's probably a triangle. Well, I mean, the only thing would be maybe here to form a triangle that fits this within there, if Bessiker is indeed trying to do that.
3 other points that will create a weird kind of star pattern.
That could be it, too. We don't have enough information yet.
That's probably true. I mean, for all I know, maybe there's some other objects like this have been found by someone else on the whole project, or these are the only ones that I've been made aware of, and I've certainly kept them to myself and not shared them with anyone.
Would you be able to discreetly ask around among your other workers?
I can ask the men on my crew.
Have you seen anything unusual?
I can ask the men on my crew, but like I said, I mean, I don't want to... as far as the white folk are not going to speak to me about this, if I just be straightforward.
No, it's like that's sadly understandable. So we can, but we can bring that up to bear if necessary.
Yeah,
but
tolerate my
these things to bears.
they tolerate my presence on the project well enough, but I know there's a lot of resentment in the town over my presence here. What they feel
Obviously,
like
what we should do is take both these candelabra and put them at the town, near the town board with a little box that says, "Have you seen anything like this?" Anonymous tips.
Or just make a picture or a photograph and put it on the town board. Found. If yours, please contact.
2 candelabras, lovely set pieces, presumed lost. Contact us.
We're not
And we
going
put those things up, and we watch for the person who walks past and doesn't scream or faint.
So you're going through for the hamburger.
And that's the person we shoot.
No, we're going to use Getty's list for that.
The Antiques Roadshow of Necronomicon horrors.
Guys, we're not going to hand off our problems to somebody.
Nicely done. I got to hand it to you.
I just want to get a little hand from our friends.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
We need to disarm them is what we need.
We need to get a leg up on this situation.
So while you guys are looking
So
at this
should we say
stuff,
farewell to arms?
well, you
No, Aaron,
See, now you guys aren't even trying to work it into the thing.
I think we should probably quit before we get ahead.
Anyway, so what?
So he just found this, or he found it this day?
he found it to not later on after he talked to you.
Okay. And this is the earliest you can get it to us. Okay.
So
How recent does the craftsmanship look on it?
It's hard to tell. It looks well put together. It looks almost identical to the other one, just with.
Which, by the way,
same
I
layer,
have not seen and I'm not going to.
same rate of
Knowledge of the fact that they
so
exist is enough.
Same craftsmanship.
I still think that somebody else right now. This is
We don't have enough information to act. We have 2 data points. We don't have a pattern.
Yeah.
You could. He says, for all he knows, other people on the project or other people in town might have found something like this. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll find somebody.
Exactly. We need to get more data. We need to look into Bessiker. I mean, we could be bold and just look in his basement, but that could be risky.
We have a
so
letter.
maybe we should find out his background.
We
We
should
don't
probably
know.
talk to him first. See if he trips any of our radars.
Yeah.
Because it could just be he's a dude that's just really pissed because his son is dead. It could be he tried some kind of archaic ritual to raise his son from the dead and now has to feed an unholy abomination with the corpses of his fallen brothers.
But that's a lot of
That's a really
That's a
big
lot of
leap
ifs
from point
right there,
A to
yeah.
point
But
B.
you're assuming that he's giving
There
finger
might be
food to
some
his
middle
kid.
ground.
Yeah.
There might be middle ground. I mean, there's a lot of space between I'm upset that my son died and unholy abomination.
I feel like you're really reaching here.
So, I feel we
best
should
I
go
can
into
come up
town
with,
and
so.
ask around. Also, find out how
It's
where
okay. We can lend you a hand. We got plenty.
The Bessinger has these weird chemicals. He had to probably have them delivered to him, so maybe we could find out who
I
is.
have chemistry as a skill. It's at
Well,
26.
you could walk by the 26th. Okay.
Who has higher chemistry? Before
No.
you get all snooty with that, Ross.
Well, I mean, you could just walk by and sniff it and see if you can tell what it is. Well, I mean, if you're outside his house, it's not like he can stop you from doing that.
Does this house smell like chloroform to you?
Well, embalming technology wasn't really around back then. Certainly.
There was embalming technology. It's not at the level it is today or anything.
Yeah.
You basically
Or even
drain all the
sleep
fluids
industry.
out of somebody and replace them with formaldehyde.
It's just
It does smell bad,
Yeah.
but it doesn't smell like what you smelled.
Okay.
You could also
I
drain
might-
all the fluids out and pack it with sawdust. It would have the same effect.
Well, I have, given the fact of medicine and pharmacy, I might be able to identify something similar to that.
Yeah, maybe you can go and give it a sniff.
So, but with our noses combined,
But meanwhile, let's say the private is in fact having a dream.
Oh God, naked on the Stairmaster again.
what's the Slayer Master?
You dream as that.
That's the scary part of the dream.
You dream that you're is feeling almost like it feels like you're tunneling through something, like you're fighting your way and tunneling through dirt or sand. Seems like it goes on forever, and then suddenly you emerge into this totally pitch black cavern. You don't see anything, but you feel that there's this great ambient space around you. It's and reverberating through it is this sound of chanting, of this constant chant, Zulba Sayer, Zulba Sayer, Zulba Sayer, over and over and over, ringing in your ears, and you realize after a few minutes that you are chanting this as well, and that's when you.
There is no chant, only Zool.
So you can go ahead and make sanity roll.
It's fine.
Made it!
Nice.
Well done.
I'm not as crazy as you think I am.
So just one of those crazy dreams you have every once in a while. Who knows what it could mean? But also, you notice you get up, you fumble around for your candle and everything and the match, and you light it, and you realize that you're holding the candle in your left hand.
Do I wake up again?
No, you roll sanity again though.
That time I
Because
don't
the
think.
storyteller hates you.
Cool. So this is going to be a D6 of sanity loss.
D6. Do you want to use a metal D6?
No.
With the easy roller dice cup?
Actually, I kind of have to do this with a very special set of dice tonight.
Ah.
This is the very first time that these have been used, and I'm going to endeavor to use them for every roll tonight.
Nice. These are the-
That's 3.
All right. These are great.
And that puts me to 29 out of my 35. So I have lost 6 within a 24-hour period. Does that give me a temporary?
It says that it was 1 hour.
It's one.
Or it's 1/5. Well, I don't know. About
It's
that.
more than 4 at a go.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
actually have the rules right here.
So it's not more than 4 at one go. 'cause
More
so
than
far,
4 at a go, or more than 1/5 of your previous current sanity in the course of a day. It actually did change these rules just a little bit.
Okay, day. Okay.
So, 1/6 is, or 1/5 would have been
6,
like 6, right?
that is exactly 6
That's
lost.
good. Okay, so yeah, Bout of Madness time. Cool. Yeah,
Seeing the candle in my left hand isn't maddening enough?
it's pretty freaky.
Suddenly regrowing a limb is useful, though.
I would think
As
so.
long as it stays around.
If it's actually your limb, what if it's an alien demon limb?
You immediately, your immediate reaction is simply to faint dead away. You just.
That's a shame. That means when you wake
I
up.
hope the
it
house
won't
doesn't
be
catch
the
on
same
fire. He dropped that candle. It's a valid concern.
It is.
So really, so on the random roll table of sample manias, I roll a 28, which is Koimetromania, Obsession with Cemeteries.
Holy shit.
How about that?
God damn,
That was
there's a
kismet.
power generator.
That is good.
You feel this. Your immediate feeling is that you are absolutely bound to figure out what's going on here. That you have to find the truth. If you don't figure out what's going on here, it's gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. You're totally obsessed with figuring out this mystery.
If I don't figure out this mystery, it's going to stay with me for the entire week. All of it.
Forever, maybe. So,
No. He said the rest of my life. The entire week.
nice. So in the morning, the rest of you wake up and have to decide what you're going to do for the day.
So definitely going to talk to Busick, or at least to get into range while if
5v1 on B-Sicker. Kick him ass for information. With social con.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. We're going to have to go all
Wait, does he still have his hand when he wakes up?
Yes.
Do we see that?
Yeah, everybody roll sanity.
What?
Damn it, Ross.
Yeah. Oh no. It's Cthulhu, Dan. Go big or go home.
Dan, I'm just going to wave this at you, and you can read it out loud to the rest
I
of the party.
inhaled that.
Okay, so if you fail the sanity roll an idea roll. Roll an idea check.
I succeed. I'm fine.
Okay.
I fail that.
Okay, you want to fail the idea roll because if you fail the idea roll, you manage to convince yourself that you just thought that he was one-handed. He must have had the both hands the whole time.
I
You
actually
still
look at
lose 1d4 sanity.
I'm looking at his hand though, taking around,
All right,
pulling
you need
back
to make
his
a
sleeve to
sanity
see
Okay.
where his
'Cause you're
original
looking at
hand,
David's now hand.
where his scar was.
Okay.
So
Yeah, roll medicine. Roll medicine.
Hey, it looks like that first doctor was right. It did grow back. Isn't that wonderful?
that doesn't do that. Impale.
Yeah, there is an obvious place where his hand, like the flesh is different from before, like it's newly grown.
Check both handelabras. Actually, because it was which one are we missing? The left
Left
hand?
hand.
It was the left one.
Are we missing one from the left hand?
Or does he have a right hand on his left hand?
No.
Oh, that would be crossed.
No, it's new, but it looks identical to his other hand. It looks like it is in fact his hand. It just looks like it
Grafted.
regrew overnight.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it
So
grew
it doesn't
back.
look like a slightly different color.
It's not a corpse hand.
Oh yeah. So,
That grafted onto itself. It's a new hand. It's a Deadpool hand.
well, Private Thomas,
Look,
I'm
I
sorry,
can do
but
this.
we've gotten to the point of burn the witch.
Me, I've seen this before.
What are you talking about? His hand was wounded, but he's always had
Yeah,
it.
if you
He has
pass the
not.
success, you
Look, it
lose
healed.
1 point of sanity.
No, I
And
clearly
you
remember
convince
he
yourself.
had his hand.
No, he didn't.
I was born with a hand,
Yes.
I mean,
You lost it in a war, or
No,
and
was-
it came back.
it was.
I don't see what the problem is.
He received shrapnel.
that's
in it.
not a.
I feel it.
That's
it's
not
right here.
That's not possible,
You can
Private.
feel it.
You're
See,
not
right
a
here.
lizard.
How do you know he's not a lizard?
It's clearly there. It's a miracle that it's recovered so quickly. It was. We could barely use it yesterday.
Where's the priest?
No,
Declare
no.
this a miracle, huh?
We've seen stranger things in the hospitals during
It's a
war.
miracle from God.
Let's move on.
What?
Well, did you make your sand check?
Yeah.
So everybody lose 1. If lose 1 if you passed.
Yeah, you're
I lost 3.
Lose 3 because you failed.
Yeah, I failed, but I
lose
convinced
one if we
myself.
pass.
Yeah, no, I'm just like
Pass.
losing touch with reality.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like.
And I passed, so I'm rationalizing the hell out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this.
Anybody who passed can easily.
I so am I, just for different reasons.
I'm
Yeah.
frightfully sane as far as this sort of thing goes.
Right. Okay. So anyway, that
I'm
happened.
actually kind of sad that Kale's not here because
He would be so eager to fail. He'd probably be spending luck to fail. So
But you do have to decide what you're going to do for the day. Get 5 decks, by the way. Get all your decks back, and you can use
Sweet.
2-handed weapons and everything now.
I think I'm going to need to get me a shotgun.
And your rifle. Yeah, and your rifle.
Yeah.
So-
So let's Well, let's take a cursory pass by Beesicker's house, see what we smell,
Okay.
and then go to Beesicker personally, and then beat him with social skills until the looping got us.
I will be going with him because I've been there
Yeah.
and I can.
All right.
Here's what we do: we put on the blindfolds, and
No blindfolds. I'm not being blinded around you.
Is
No,
anybody
no.
is anybody checking up on like the whole see if you can find any other totems or something? Anybody knows anything about the totems in town?
Next.
I don't
Okay,
care.
but you're in the Beast thing.
I mean, we're just swinging by Beesicker's house.
Fair enough. Okay.
So just see if.
On our way to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all going.
It basically, do you smell this?
Yeah, I mean, with someone pointing it out, you all can smell the faint smell.
Medicine.
Yeah, sure. Roll medicine.
okay. So what smell do we actually, or what do you roll to figure out what that smell is?
That would be medicine. That's
Manage make it 80 out of 85.
I did not make a medicine roll. I have to roll a 1.
I got under half.
I didn't either, so.
Like some
Yes,
combination
that is quite a stack.
of ammonia and carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide
doesn't
doesn't have a scent.
Well, okay, whatever.
why it's so deadly.
Well, what kind of
Ether?
smell would it? What sort
Does
of
it smell
chemical?
like ammonia and ether?
yeah,
Okay.
Smell like chloroform.
and some combination, and maybe
No,
some
it
third
smells
thing
like
that you
ether.
really
So like
cannot-
surgical chemicals or like?
not chemicals that you would think of that are associated with surgery. Ether would be because it's used as
It's
an
an anesthetic,
anesthetic, but not. You wouldn't use ammonia for anything.
Okay.
And
disinfectant.
there's something
maybe?
else.
Germ theory doesn't.
There's some
exist
third thing that you can't identify.
Chemistry?
Not from the smell. You'd have to see what if you see what smell was coming from.
It was coming from his
yet. You
basement.
have to waft it first.
Okay, so he needs to tickle the basement open.
Yes. Well, you can. The door was unlocked yesterday, but I will keep watch, and I will begin singing if I see him coming.
Are you any good?
No, I'm very loud though.
Well, then I best do well.
Well, good.
Right, since
All
I've
right.
got
No, wait, I'm charm at 80. I can be very singing.
Well, first, let's knock on the door. Maybe Beesicker's here. Maybe you took a sick day. It smells sick.
does mechanical repair do anything? Can I use that to somehow help in tickling the lock open?
Once you get to the lock tickling phase, but we're not to the
We're still outside.
Yeah. The front door is unlocked, or it was yesterday. You knock on the door, nobody answers.
Oops, the door was left open. Shove.
Yep.
Is there anyone home?
It looks just like it looked yesterday when
Oh
Rob.
dear, I would certainly hate for there to be a medical emergency. If the door is unlocked, then maybe someone is hurt. I am coming on in.
And again, I let this lady go into this house completely
I was gonna say it's coming right for us, but for a mystery.
I cannot let the lady go in completely unaccompanied. That is just not done. Allow me to escort you, ma'am, so that you are not unescorted in a strange house.
Okay, so yeah, it looks just like he
What are
did.
you guys talking about? I thought we were going to break in.
Beesiker's personal effects, his little shrine to his dead son.
Yeah. So I point out the basement.
There's the basement door.
There's a way to do it
Basement door.
legally.
This is the part that we do the illegal things.
Locked.
Technically, we're already trespassing.
Locked.
No, we're
It's not his,
investigating a
it's not
possible
his
medical
property.
emergency.
Yeah.
You could ask Elizabeth Thorne if she could.
I'm going to roll locksmith.
Well, she's
on this
scared
one.
of him, and I don't want to like.
That is a 36 out of 50.
All right. Click.
Who's going?
You've never done this before?
You
I will.
with the escorting.
Wait, no. You do you have stealth?
I have stealth.
All right, you go.
I
in.
am the rogue.
You go in first. Well, I have stealth too. But
Yeah,
you go
you're
in first,
Fighting things. I am
Yeah.
going to be stealthy.
and we will. If we hear you scream, we'll thank you for your service to the
I am going to
country.
be stealthy. That is under half. That is 22 out of 75.
Okay. Still. The stairs down here seem recently installed and quite creaky. In fact, as you go down, it looks almost like this. Well, you get to the bottom and you find yourself immediately in sort of a root cellar with a door on the other end of it.
The door leading into the actual basement.
A door leading into some other chamber.
Is the door locked?
Yes.
Wait, so like he's in the root cellar below the house. Mm-hmm. Does
Is
it
there
look
anything
like?
else?
Well, I guess I'm not there, so yeah.
Is there anything else worth seeing in the root cellar?
Root vegetables.
Come on down. There doesn't seem to be anything.
And a door.
cul-de-sac.
Except for a door.
It does sound like a cry for help. Maybe we should
I
investigate
sneak out as
that.
well. I also pilfer a candle.
Okay, pilfer in a candle. Okay.
Yeah, I don't light it yet,
Okay.
but I get a
get
matches.
matches.
Were
Yeah, matches were
Yeah,
around.
so I have a match ready in case
Okay.
we need to read or set something on fire.
Okay. And or.
Set something on fire. Yeah.
All
Am
right.
I entirely wrong?
Good
So I go
question.
down there. Is the smell even stronger?
Down here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's coming from the other side.
So
of that
the
door.
other door, does that seem to lead away from the building, like a tunnel, or is it just part? Like this is only part of the.
It seems like it leads to some chamber that's like excavated further under the foundation of the house.
So we're still under. So the next part is still under the house.
Still under the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was like he just really expanded. Or...
Well, it does actually. If you take a close look at it, it does look new. This door does.
Okay, well go pick that lock.
No.
What? How much did you fail by?
That is a 92 out of 50.
Okay, you can, if you want, push the roll where we agree that if
And then you could use luck.
you do it again, and if
Technically, I
you
could use
fail
luck now.
if you fail a second time, then something bad will happen. In this case, what I'll say is that you jam the lock so that it can't be opened subtly. You could still force it open, like kick the door down.
All right.
And
Mechanical
it will be
repair?
also be obvious that you tried to pick the door lock.
Well, let him resolve
Yeah.
it first, then we'll figure out what the problems could be.
Oh,
No,
I was gonna say-
the idea is you figure out what the problems are, and then you, based on that, you decide whether you want
Okay.
to push or not.
Will mechanical repair be of any use at all?
Well, you could disassemble. You could like remove
Well,
the
that's
door
what
hinges.
I'm saying is that we asking if mechanical repair can fix the problem. We don't know because we don't know what that
Yeah,
problem is.
it still needs
Right.
Neil's play. So what's your call?
I'm going to try and force the lock. Yeah. Push the check.
Push
Yeah.
the roll.
Push the envelope.
Push the roll, push the check, whatever it's called. That's a success, 35 out of 50.
Okay. So yeah, it pops open on your second go.
Sorry, I needed to actually push the tumblers up instead of
The wrong
sideways.
tool.
Of course.
Click. Door's unlocked.
Thought it was a special kind of lock. You see them a lot in New York. So.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, we don't have locks out in the rest of the world.
Well, we don't have the New York lock.
We just
the
put
book,
it
in which case, open the door. Someone open the door.
Someone open the door.
The reporter, he's the one right in front.
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
I will open the door and
Okay.
continue to be stealthy.
All right. Yeah, you don't have to make another stealth check. Don't worry. It does look like this is a new chamber recently excavated and added on to the root cellar. It's large and cavernous and stretches off before you further than the ambient light shining down into the root cellar can see. It's a long, fairly narrow chamber.
It leads past the house.
It leads away into the darkness, away from you.
I light the candle.
All right.
Game over.
Okay, so I'm going to carry the lit candle in this hand, revolver in this one, and we're going in.
You're just relishing that whole two hands thing, aren't you?
Wouldn't you?
You don't appreciate it until you have to live without it for a while.
No, let's see how you like it.
Hey,
All
wait
right.
until I get back to the rest of my unit, and I'm just going to tell all of the ones that call me Stumpy.
So you go down a tunnel. It's a tunnel that stretches out in front of you, and then it opens up into a larger
No,
chamber.
they have to get their own finger.
It's quite large. In fact, your candlelight doesn't shine down to.
So this is
the
a third chamber.
Yeah, well, there's a tunnel, and then
Okay.
it opens out.
Okay.
We say we all have them, so.
So the door.
I had one candle. Nobody else had that candles.
I don't have
I'm a practical war widow. Yeah.
Got one candle. So, the first thing you come across as you get there is what appears to be a writing desk. It's an ordinary-looking writing desk.
Is there a lantern?
There is a lamp on the desk. Yeah.
A lamp. Yeah. Sorry.
Perhaps then light the lamp.
Yep.
And pillow
Boom.
said lamp.
There's a whole bunch of papers there.
Read them.
Start looking through them.
Read the book.
Library use.
Library use, yay!
Everybody's favorite. How does the reporter not have library use?
Good question. Give yourself extra 20 points in library use.
Thank you.
Can I do that too? Since
Impale the
Okay,
library.
only one person needs to make the library use.
I impaled it.
Okay, whoever succeeds best, which is going to be Jan,
Which is you.
is the one who finds the relevant information.
It's because I have my magnifying glass.
There is a lot of unusual notes here. A lot of handwritten notes.
Why are you carrying a magnifying glass around for no discernible reason?
And they all seem to
Does
be
it have
written.
anything
None
to
of
do with
them.
the fact that you're wearing trousers?
Just pages and pages of just closely written, very difficult to read scrawl in somebody's handwriting. There are some pages, however, that jump out to you eventually that are not in the same hand.
So time for a handout.
So
I love-
Dan gets to read it. Dan gets to read it. Everybody can
I'm
take a look at it.
I'm gonna read it so good.
It's fantastic.
You've stained it and everything and crinkled it, and it's
That is
It's slightly, yes, it's
gorgeous
fantastic.
handout.
pretty.
There should be a picture of this.
Oh, there will be.
Dan's reading a handout.
Just not out loud.
Yeah, not out loud. It's okay, Dan.
Which is odd for Dan,
Sound
because
like we-
normally he reads everything aloud.
we don't.
Well, I have no reason to take you all down with me yet.
Read
it for the listeners at home.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
listeners at
saying.
Well, I'm trying to read over it because it's written in old-timey English.
Okay, English.
So before I read it out loud, I want to at least have a familiarity with it.
Fair enough.
Oh, thank you.
The ye's should be pronounced the, by the way.
Oh, these are super awesome.
E
space
should be
metal
pronounced as the.
that I
as
got
the.
at Planet Comic-Con.
Because
And then these,
in point of fact, no one ever actually used the E to mean the. They just used the letter Y to represent TH.
I didn't even notice
English.
People are terrible.
oh, the purple space metal were new acquisition. New acquisition, but the D20s I've had. I just,
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
I love them.
Great sir, I do take pains to follow the caution that you vouchsafe to me, which not call up any that we cannot put down, and to ask of the lesser, lest the greater shall not wish to answer. Yet in speculation I have come to guess that such methods exist by which one may indeed ask of the greater, yea, e'en the greatest, in some safety. For that which exceedeth our power, it est the perfection of the reconstitution from incomplete salts. I suspect that the great name Yog Sol, to which belongeth the power and wisdom by which we do conjure, may be bonden onto a vessel, as is spoken of in the Book 7 of the Necronomicon, as was done in your very Massachusetts hills in the olden times, by the wizards to get his children upon the earth. Forsooth, in converse with one of the said olden ones, didn't I gather that a suitable vessel may be constructed from that which you dismiss as naught but the liveliest awfulness. If they were to be so alloyed together into a great ennued mass as to properly serve, such creation may be what the wise Dutchman Vonnegut named his great Grand Fallen, which he crafted from the corpses upon the slaughter of Westbrook in 1481. I shall inquire of him by letter if this may be so. Ooh. And I can't read the pen name.
Josephus C.
Josephus C. to Mr. Simon on Williams Lane, Salem.
All right, so
Guys, we got this.
who wants to go fight Yogg-Sothoth?
Well, it's not him. It's just the person who's going to be a vessel. It's fine, guys. It's fine.
Just a vessel, Yogg-Sothoth. We'll be fine. It's fine.
None of you know. None of you've ever heard the name of Yogg-Sothoth.
No, I don't have any points in Cthulhu Mythos.
But as you dig down at the sheets underneath, there are some other usages of that.
Do you have points in Cthulhu
name.
Mythos?
No, I just rolling a call like,
In a whole bunch, about 5 to 6 sheets of paper. Looks like they've been hand copied from some other source. There are lines in Latin and in Greek, and with an English, no
I have
translation
Latin.
underneath.
I am Greek.
And someone
Okay.
here has Latin too.
I have
So
Latin.
there's the Latin,
what's
there's the Greek.
What's your Latin?
51.
All right. I entered 60, but
I will spend 4 points of luck to make that a success.
Alright.
I'm going to push on the Greek.
On the Greek. Okay, if you fail...
If you fail, you spend luck.
Historically, there have been
If
a
I
lot
can.
of people
No,
who
you
have
do.
pushed on the Greek.
You command me.
This is your chance to learn a spell, Aaron.
If you
I know.
If you fail, things are going to be real bad for you, just sanity-wise.
Okay.
Just so we're clear.
Truly random. Yes, 36 made it.
Oh, yay.
So does anything else happen to me for reading this letter to myself?
Well, I think we haven't realized the implications yet. Probably when you see ye awfulness. You know.
awful.
Yeah, you're probably going, oh, it's what that letter talked about. I'm fucked.
So it looks like these are two languages. This is copied from two different versions of the same book. That book being the Necronomicon.
Nice.
Translated to
There
Klaatu
is-
Nikto Barada.
No, there's the Greek version, circa 950 by Theodorus Philetas, the commonly known, the one that is called the Necronomicon. And there's the Latin version, translated in 1228 by Olaus Vormius. And it looks like...
AKA the Libris Mortis.
And it looks like these whoever wrote this thing out transcribed both of them, interpolating the lines from both languages so they can check it between the two of them. Pages are noted in the upper left-hand corner, indicating that these are from Book 7 of the Necronomicon.
Both of them?
About 5 pages worth here. With your consultation going together in Latin and Greek, you can see there is a great density of information contained on these pages.
Including the spell Summon Fish.
No, but there are a lot of spells here.
Beginning to smell a lot like fish, man.
Obviously. That's the
Hey,
problem.
June, no Christmas songs.
Alright, so, yeah, there are a number of what appears to be incantations here listed out. The Descending Dragon and the Ascending Dragon, right next to each other, both of which seem like, as far as you can read, collections of gibberish, except that you recognize within each one of them the name Yog-Sothoth, which appears in the letter. There is a spell that says for the invocation of the dread name of Azathoth, useful for, and there's a note actually next to that that's been written on there. It says Kerwin notes. Useful for bargaining with those from outside. There's one that says it's called "Call Forth the Gnawing Ones," and then the last 2 pages all seem to. There's another one next to that one that's called "The Curse of Dry Crippling," and. Then the last 2 pages seem to be one long ritual called "Open the Way unto Yog-Sothoth."
It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right.
Well, we're just dealing with a crazy person.
Put your hands on your hips.
With the interpolation of these 2 things, it does look like, with access to both the Greek and Latin, it would be relatively easy to perform any of these incantations just by reference to this text.
Alright, so
let's do it.
Summon and fight Yog-Sothoth.
Damn, no.
Someone in fight, someone in command.
What? No, whoa. I feel like I skipped this page here. Do any of them refer to geomancy, like marking an area?
Yeah. So
Good question. No. You don't see any reference to totems or burying things in
Or candelabras.
or anything like that. Any description that as it seems at all like related to what you've encountered out there.
Okay. Well, we have proof that Bisek is Toad's cray cray. So he's desecrating the dead. Like this tunnel continues past his chamber, right?
Oh, it keeps going, yeah.
Yeah.
There's way more tunnel down there.
Well, look, this is how he's digging bodies out.
how is he doing this on his own?
He's
though?
probably got help. Probably Confederate sympathizers.
The Confederate sympathizers to desecrate possibly their own corpses?
Yeah. Well, obviously they're targeting the Union forces.
Do we have any proof of that?
Union corpses are disappearing.
Let's take the letters. We go back up. We get Bissick. Charge him. Case closed.
But you're not disturbed by this. You're not disturbed by a hand that is regenerated.
No. As a matter of fact,
We keep coming back to that.
If you
I don't
would
know what
actually
your
join us on the
problem
front
is.
lines,
Everyone shut up.
instead of
Listen.
holding up in an hospital.
Listen.
I am a doctor.
I'm going to make a listen check. 'Cause we're in the dark. And I look around with my candle. Well, I failed that spectacularly, but anyone else want to make a listen check?
I'm too angry.
No, I'm good. And by good, I mean I fail.
No, listen, nobody hears a damn thing.
No.
Okay, cool.
Well, I feel...
Caleb hears stuff.
I still feel like the only way that we
Caleb
can
is
get a
right.
hit on this problem is to understand what they're doing, so I want to study these things in more detail.
No, let's
By all
take them.
means, you should study
We have enough evidence to...
Yeah, let's take all this.
Yes.
And while on the way down, I'm going to read them over and
okay,
over
let's
and over again.
pick them up and get out of here.
And over and over again.
So that's...
Good idea.
Yeah.
I'll lend a hand with that.
Fine. Is taking papers and putting them in our bag.
Yeah, we loot the desk thoroughly.
You two, by the way, can both take gain 4 and 12 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Who gains 12?
Both of you guys.
We both
Do we
gain...
lose
The
any
ones-
sanity?
Oh yeah, lose.
I was about to
you're gonna
say.
get
Wait, we
sanity
gain
drain.
4 and 12? Or no, total of 12?
Total of 12.
Oh my god.
Because in a one shot, like, what's the point of giving you 4 points?
Yeah, but what sanity are we losing now for?
You guys are both losing 2 points of sanity.
Wow, we got off. That's a bargain.
Oh,
Well, remember, your
David.
cap is still...
make me sanity test. Check.
Nope.
Okay, so lose...
Huh. My die landed on a sideways 8.
Lose 6 points, lose a d6 sanity.
Only 2.
Okay, that's
1 plus
fine.
1.
And it sounds like, actually, you know that feeling you've had ever since the battle, of like just being on edge and feeling shaky and everything like that. You don't feel that at all down here. You feel so comforted, like you're finally where you should be. Like down here.
Don't know what he feels, Aaron. We're not telepaths. There is no tactic. It's not metagaming.
Am I saying anything? I'm just pantomiming.
Oh yeah, and let's say you failed the sanity check, you do find yourself mumbling that phrase that you heard in your dream last night.
Do we hear that?
Yeah.
Or do that?
I mean, no, you all failed your listen checks. You don't notice.
No. Let me
or
put
not?
this. I was the only one who didn't make a listen check.
Okay.
Since I was yelling.
You're the only person who has a shot.
And you're the one that would suspect David the most.
Yes. Oh, I only have. Wait a minute. Only 20. Wow.
Yeah.
Listening is a trash skill.
Trash. 15.
He hears.
Okay. Yeah, he's mumbling. Zulba Sayer.
Cthulhu Mythos.
Okay. See if it was in there someplace. There's any message.
Spend all your luck.
Ought 3.
What? Zulba Sayer is.
Spend 2 to crit. Spend 2 to crit.
That's a critical.
No, it's not.
Let's say below 5% still good enough. Okay, yeah. So Zulba Sayer is in fact in one of those pages of the Necronomicon. Oh yeah, the one call forth the gnawing ones. That in the explanation of what that spell does, it says the servants of Great Mordigian who shall live. He shall live in the next eon in his great temple in Zulba Sayer. They are his servants and his food. Well,
Distracted.
Private? Do you mind taking these up to the front? This bag seems a bit heavy for me right now.
Oh, now you want me to lend you a hand?
You just do it, please.
from now on, all the funds will be in character. Things he actually said.
We lose sanity for months. We should, but anyway.
All right.
Suddenly now it's okay that I've got the hand back.
So you're taking everything out of the desk and leaving.
Yeah, I don't feel particularly inclined to go in the creepy dark tunnel with just a candle and a lamp, without a gun, and also we have a slam dunk case.
First.
We solved the case. Case closed.
Hey, I've got a gun.
You don't know
Okay.
anything. You just have you just have a sub basement down here and a bunch of crazy.
This is the 1860s. Like during a war, we can just say he did it, and
I gotta tell you, I've got enough to write one hell of a story for the newspaper at this point.
like we
thought
don't
you
have
weren't
very
supposed
strong
to.
standards
I'm not
of
going
like,
to,
proof back
but-
then.
Roll me idea.
I'm just saying,
Alright.
the proof here is not
Yeah,
necessarily need much more proof.
I fail that.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. This is you just take this as present. Everything's gonna be fine.
Well, not the president. We could just send him a letter. We got the guy. Busick, he has a tunnel in his house.
Do you want me to roll an idea?
Yeah, anybody who thinks that's a good idea can roll an idea.
Nope.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Well, I got 42 out of 70.
I got 49 out of 80.
Yeah, I got
Or
40.
39 out of 80, sorry.
Okay, a couple of things. First, maybe by showing someone these notes, they might believe that Busicker is doing something weird. They're not going to you have no evidence that he's actually doing anything to any bodies.
Well, the tunnel. Like that's what
You
they
didn't find the hands where in his house.
We can plant them.
I'm worried that something.
You think we can catch him red-handed?
Definitely guilty. We gotta frame him.
Look, I'm just saying he has a tunnel. Like that's proof enough for me. Is that he has a tunnel in his house leading to the
Okay,
grave.
well, sorry, what was your last name again, Ross?
Vincent.
It's like Mrs. Vincent. Can I speak to you for a second?
Who do you?
Yes.
In private.
Okay.
I'm just reading.
Okay, I'm right here. What do you want?
Reading papers.
So, and I take you out to the corner.
Well, you did say you want to speak to
David, I'm taking him over to the corner.
Mrs. Vincent and the private.
No,
No.
just you.
In private.
No, David, you're not at zero sanity yet.
In the private is very
So,
different.
look,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm highly concerned that this is something else outside of our scope, and
Can I read the letter?
despite the fact of the hand, I'm not going to bring that up anymore, but one of the words, and
Now that I have a better framework, I'm going to start reading over what we've had so far. And
repeat off the of like Zaire, sorry, of like
Zulba Zaire.
Zulba Zaire. This point out in the paperwork, he's repeating that. This is written in Latin and Greek. That we have not told this to anybody else.
No, I didn't hear him say that.
He is singing that to himself. Go by and listen to that quietly as we move up.
I will keep an eye on him. Then.
And I suggest you do that because something else is at
But all
play
we have to do
here.
is show the authorities this tunnel, and that's clearly proof he's grave robbing.
It's really not.
Does
A
anything
tunnel
that I
network-
read indicate that it would improve treatment of the wounded?
He has a tunnel leading off from
Well,
his house into the graves. Like, what else could it be? Again, this is 19th century standards of proof. Like, Law and Order, this is not. He's doing something weird. He's responsible for all our ills. All
I haven't
right.
even talked to him yet.
We can find him.
Yeah, it's like
He's
we
right
have
over.
20
Actually, he's right. Like he's about 200-300 yards away tops. He's over.
All right, we get out of the
counting
house.
things.
Lock it behind us.
So just walk up behind him. Jacuz!
And basically secure the evidence,
Pleasure.
and then then we can talk to him.
All right.
But
I returned, refreshed from my communion with the Lord. No.
You missed the
oh yeah, let's go fetch the minister. He'll be help us to convince Busick to confess.
Yeah.
Confess to his
Oh,
crimes.
he needs to
We have
roll to
strong
see if he
evidence.
knows
Oh, yeah.
David regrew his hand.
What crimes?
So
Grave robbing.
So,
Well,
it's
first have him read the letter.
first off, Caleb, it's a miracle of the Lord. The private here has actually regrown his left hand.
Yeah, see?
And I'm the only one who seems to think it's weird.
No, his hand was always there. It was just wounded. He just healed.
I've heard of
Okay.
I've heard of edge cases wherein people have regrown their hands.
No,
I do.
We haven't established what sort of paper I write for.
no, we'll fetch you. We went into under Mr. Busick's house. We found a tunnel network and pages from the Necronomicon.
Great.
It's Latin and Greek, and this letter that references Yog-Sothoth, and you know.
So we're gonna go over, and we need you to make him confess.
And David's chanting Zulba Zaire.
which is a passage from the shrine to Mordigian,
And-
the god of the ghouls.
And Ross and I both have 12 points of Cthulhu Mythos now.
Yeah.
12?
It's a one shot. I kind of double all values.
All right. Where are you at now?
They're coming out of the
Root cellar.
The root cellar. Of
Where was I at?
You were.
Praying somewhere.
Someone asked you
I'll
to.
be back at the hotel, I guess.
I would say a local Presbyterian congregation asked you to deliver an address at their prayer meeting that morning. And so you
Oh, we found them with two candelabra.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah, the left candelabrum.
Oh, nice.
By the way, do I still feel?
This is bothering me.
Do I still feel good when I come out, or
You feel when you come out, you just don't feel. You feel like you wish you could go back down in there and just
How are
stay
your
there.
teeth? These schools need to smell better.
that's a good question?
That's not the Ghouls. It's Joseph Kerwin.
That is a good question. How do my teeth feel?
They feel
Normal?
sharp.
Ah,
How'd you become a ghoul already?
I don't know.
Less than an hour.
It's a mystery thing. Well, somebody had to do it since Tom's not here.
OCD finally rectified. These dice weren't facing
What are you doing next? You are out of his house. You met up with him.
Let's go find Mr. Busick. We'll confront him with the evidence. Busick, sorry. We'll confront him with his evidence, and the minister here can force him to confess his crimes.
I'm also pretty good at ferreting out the truth from people, so maybe I can help.
Yeah,
I
we'll all
can
go.
intimidate like a bitch.
I
Because
say we all go in case things go untoward.
And he's a ghoul!
Because Presbyterians are big into the confessional.
Well, maybe it's going to go easier on you.
Well, they're good on the gills, right?
Good on
You show him the letter, say, there have been bad things happening around this place. The president asked us to look into it, and we found these troubling letters in your house and the tunnel network.
Actually, they're not. It's not his house.
Well, the house that he's living in.
Yeah, but still, it's not his.
But all the work done that created the tunnel network was recent. So he either did it or was complicit to its making, which is just as bad by this century's standards.
Either that or the.
A sin in thought is a sin in action. There's the Presbyterian.
Either that or it's all a clever ruse by the woman who had the three kids.
Yeah,
It's
she's
just
throwing
an
a
entire family of ghouls.
Okay, so you're
All
gonna.
right, I wasn't there, so I will do whatever you tell me.
Wait, did he make a sand check for seeing the hand?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you lose sand or did you
I
rational?
was fine.
It was a miracle of the Lord.
Oh my god, I'm like the only one who looks and says, this is fucked.
No, he always had a hand.
You're the only one who thinks.
Oh, I haven't seen his hand.
Oh,
yet.
yeah,
come on.
yeah.
He was
Roll
not a
sand,
ghoul
roll
when I
sand
left.
for that. Roll sand
Yeah,
for
roll
that.
sand into that. So.
So where did you come meet me? Like,
We'll probably just meet you back at the hotel.
okay.
Yeah.
And then
for
we're like-
lunch.
Mr. Wills' house.
Hello, gentlemen, esteemed ladies.
Hello.
Yeah, roll sand.
I'm fine.
Okay.
He must be a
No, you
con
don't-
artist.
We don't say anything.
Fuck!
Yeah. So.
His hand was
He doesn't
always-
have to lose one sanity for rational.
Oh, did it? Was it one for everybody else? Okay, it was one then. I can remember that.
Okay.
What? Wait, you
How
could
do your
swear.
shoes feel? Do they feel a little loose?
My
Do they
boots
fit right?
Oh, my boots fit great.
Yeah, do your knees bend the other way? Or do you have hooves now? Be real subtle about that.
Anyway,
Okay.
how did everything go?
You smell like the living anymore.
Mr. Busick is unwell. He is mentally.
Basic.
Biesiker, sorry. Biesiker is.
He's on bees. Just remember it that way.
Sorry.
Mr. B. Sicker is feeling unwell.
Yes, he is. He has
I see what you did there.
built a tunnel under his house leading into the graves, and he has been consulting with most unholy tomes and letters.
Who told you this?
We found it. His house.
Spreading out the letters.
Broke into his house.
His house, yeah, his house has an unwholesome smell.
It smells
It
of...
smells of death.
Oh my! I mean, he's obviously man in need of help, doctor. We should take him to the sanitarium.
I fear at this point that this is beyond the help of any mental health professional.
Mental health? What?
Yeah, it wasn't a mental health profession at this time of year.
An alienist.
Oh,
It
sorry.
was a different
Another
type of
doctor,
person.
sorry.
Yeah, doctoring. It's just doctrine.
It was a different type
Doctrine
of
with
prison.
fire hoses.
Did they use alienists back then, or was that later?
I think
Alienists exist, but not in America. We don't go in for that hullabaloo.
Obviously, what we
not.
need-
We're gonna shoot you full of opiates.
obviously, what you
Poke 'em
need
with snake
is
oil. Yeah. Except for snake oil, which is actually good for what ails you.
There's everything that ails you.
obviously what you need is a phrenologist with a hammer.
Yeah.
A retrophrenologist.
Well, we're just gonna go right
Level
up.
up. We're just gonna level this all
Well,
up.
we should report him to the authorities.
Yes, with this ice pick.
No, we should confront him, don't you think? And like, perhaps you can urge him to confess, as it's good for the soul.
So do you feel this man is responsible for the grave rot?
Who else could be?
Yes.
Do you want to see the
Obviously,
tunnel?
if we all go.
Well, we could get some lanterns and go back in the tunnel and see.
And
it.
guns.
No, I trust you,
Guns.
I trust you, madam, implicitly. I would never accuse you of lying by any means. It's shocking news, you must understand. No, we should go with the 6 of us there. I mean, it's obviously a malady of the mind and soul of some sort, and we should, seek him to bring to help. I mean, I don't expect any confrontation. He's a grave robber. It's a coward's crime. So yes, let's just go.
I recommend.
Grab your things.
Jumping to conclusion is the 19th century style.
I recommend guns.
Yeah.
If we're going to go confront someone, we should be heavily armed.
You know,
It's all right, I got mine.
Guns? Oh my! Well, I mean, that seems a bit uncalled for.
Well, if you're taking a gun, it would be impolite for me not to take a gun.
if you do go for fire,
Madam, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
you have a limited
Why?
selection. You basically have rifle, shotgun,
I'm not entirely
and,
certain that is
revolver.
in the good phonetic.
I will take shotgun.
Well, that,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Shotgun.
I will take a revolver myself.
okay.
Definitely in the list of things
As I
that
just
Emily
like,
posted.
I will
on
use this.
I'll
Yeah,
just
but
since
you
I
have a sense of propriety.
since almost nobody was
Thank you.
equipped with weapons beforehand,
Yeah.
I'll just read off. Is everybody who's taking shotgun you write down stat?
I have my
John,
Derringer,
no.
so.
So rather than report this to the authority, we're just
We
erecting
are the authority.
a posse.
Yeah.
We have a letter making us the authority.
You are the authority.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Man, I cannot, in good conscience, if the danger is truly that great, I cannot take a lady to it. I mean, what kind of man of God would I be were I to expose a woman like yourself to such atrocities as befitting a shotgun? Obviously, you overreact.
You aren't stopping.
Get over it, man of God.
The
we're
person
going
that
over.
empowered me as well.
Well,
So tell me about this
that one
gun
is
that I'm
truly a
getting
lady.
from Mr.
Well,
Wills.
clearly, this one is gauche enough to wear pads.
Shotgun.
Yeah, what does shotgun
Everybody
do?
wants a
I'm a nurse.
shotgun.
I don't want a
Damage.
shotgun. I'm no good with them.
Damage is 46, 2d6, 1d6.
Nice.
Base range has 10
I'm more
slash 20
effective
slash
with my
50 yards, so that corresponds to the damage.
That is. I will pray at them.
Wait a minute, what was the range?
10 slash 20 slash 50.
I'll take one shotgun too.
Okay, right these.
No,
write these
read
down,
over the
yeah.
text. Read it.
Yeah,
read
read
it.
Uses per round 1 or 2. It's double barrel shotgun. 2 bullets in gun. Malfunction on 100%.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Revolver. Because I'm no good with heavy arms.
Where are we getting all these weapons? For the hotel?
You can just.
It's a guy's house.
It's a guy's house.
It's a
and
mansion.
if there's one thing there were a lot of laying around after the Battle of Gettysburg,
He's got a posse's worth of shotguns?
he's got a case of them.
I'm just going to pick up my rifle.
Okay. You already have a rifle, or
Sitting
Well-
in a chair made out of plastic.
I would think that I would, being
I mean, do you
assaulted.
have one on your sheet?
Not on the sheet.
Okay, cool. You have a.
I've got a
Weapons, Mr.
revolver.
Wills. Piles of bear.
Yeah, you have.
Round back.
It's like blaster rifles in Star Wars.
I'll do me to burn them, but, it's been wet out.
Yeah, you have a 58 Springfield rifle musket. Nice. That's going to be damage 1d10 plus 4.
I've had 3 fingers of whiskey. I feel pretty good.
Base range
Only 3?
60 yards.
I do have to drive David home.
Fair enough.
Usage per round 1/4, so it takes 1. You shoot it and you have to take 4 rounds to reload it because it's only got 1 bullet in it. And malfunctions on 95 to 100.
Any chance that he might have a better one, like, I don't know, one of those nice cavalry rifles, like a breech loader?
No left on that.
Well, they sell those.
Revolver?
Revolver, you might want to take a revolver as a backhand weapon if you
Well,
ever
no,
go.
I don't do long arms.
Right.
So
Revolver.
Actually, how many
I'm
revolvers are
just going
sitting
to
in the
punch the
pile?
mythos with my hat pin.
There's a
Everyone,
bunch
this
of-
is
There's a lot.
absurd.
You can have as many revolvers as you want.
I'm going to
just
take
one.
a brace of revolvers then.
Two?
Yeah.
brace of revolvers.
Okay.
Brace of revolvers for everyone.
How are we going to make... what's his name again?
He's going to be like, what do you guys
How are we going to make Mr. Busiker see the Lord when we come as outfitted as brigands?
I will hide my shotgun.
Under your widow's dress.
I will be, and similarly, my brace of revolvers will be under my overcoat.
Ma'am, why are you defacing your dress by painting a skull on it?
Wait a minute.
Maybe I will.
No, similarly, I will be
I
wearing
become
my
the
brace.
emancipator of life.
Wait, I have a horse. I'll put it in my saddlebag. They won't see it, all right?
Yeah.
Just put
No,
a
no.
blanket over it.
Just put them under the bustle.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is...
That's what it's there for. Isn't
Oh
it?
my god.
This is going to be a 38 revolver, same stats anyway. It's probably a 45 Colt Navy. Damage,
Put some hustle in that
1d10.
bustle.
Base range, 15 yards. Usage per round, 1 or 3 if you go like crazy auto fire.
Yeah, plap, plap.
Bullets and gun is 6. And malfunctions on 100.
All right, and I'm going to take 4 of them.
I think 4 is not within reason.
Okay.
I think 2 is
Are
within
you
reason.
sure that this is actually the situation? You didn't... So there was a foul smell.
I've come from New York. I just really want something for when I go home.
You broke into the man's home.
He grew a hand.
No, there was a foul smell. Someone could have been hurt.
Okay, no, I'm with you that far.
Okay.
You saw tunnels.
Yes.
That were in a mine of some sort. It was not some sort of sinkhole or a naturally occurring geological phenomenon.
They were made with intent, yes.
Mr. Musiker was not there at the time.
No, luckily. Otherwise, he might have been hurt.
And we'd have 2 hand sculptures to go
We were
on.
really looking for Mr. Busiker. So we followed the trail in his root cellar, went a little bit
Do you
further.
want to see the
It was super nice down there. as
I'm
far as the
fine.
crowd is concerned.
I didn't know if we'd confronted him with this yet. Or
No, that's the
if he
idea.
had some sort of explanation.
I will just carry the shotgun for my own protection. He has threatened his neighbor.
That is,
She has confided in me. Elizabeth
have a point.
Masser.
it might be a little bit much to bring
Thorne,
that much. So I'm just going to stick with the pistols and leave the
said
other
that
two
you-
behind.
Yeah, no. He threatened
raise the
the family that was
One in
living
the
next
holster,
to
2 on the back of the
Oh my!
small
Oh,
of the
well,
back.
certainly we should go post haste.
That's normal.
The family that their the man of the house is away at war.
Yeah.
Oh, I won't tolerate that.
Okay, so you're
So
gonna.
maybe too many guns.
Well, I'm serious. I just want guns for when I go home. I'm from New York.
Mr. Wills' hospitality.
That's
is-
actually a
Quite wonderful.
really good idea in 1863 because the draft riots were happening. Which, if you've seen Gangs of New York, is what happens at the end of that movie.
It's odd.
So what you really
They
want?
will be under my overcoat. It is November. I'm sure we're bundled up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna go talk to Busiker. Let's make a plot for him.
Armed
Okay.
to the fucking teeth.
As we race towards the finish line.
Alright, so he's supposed
You
to
gave
be
us
out.
a send of a Cthulhu mythos villain. We're gonna bite down.
You're going to the cemetery to confront him. You
Yeah.
get there, you see a man with a
You haven't actually met this guy yet.
you see a man with a notebook. He's making jots in it, while a team of Irish laborers busily sink coffins labeled with people's names into the ground while he is recording who's where in a notebook.
I beg your pardon, sir. Would you by any strange chance be Mr. Bessinger?
No.
Busiker, maybe perhaps instead.
No, sir. My name is Thompson.
Can you point me towards Mr. Busiker?
You just missed him. He came to relieve me. I've been sick for the last couple days. Came down with a case of the smallpox. Been going around, but I'm feeling better today, so I'm back on the job. I just came by to just about an hour ago.
The smallpox is what people feel like before they actually turn into ghouls.
Or it's the actual smallpox, which is the thing.
David, are you feeling a bit poppy at the moment?
Lincoln was not a ghoul.
No,
That we know
or
of.
was he?
No, he was a vampire hunter.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
a
rule that says you
Only
can't
two
be bold.
things. Yeah.
So that's why we'll switch for the headshot.
A fight means a bullet every time.
Yeah.
Which way was he going?
You are going to. He was going back to his house. That's where he normally hangs out.
Why was he going? It's the middle of the day.
Well, he's finished. Like he was just spelling me here. I took over for him. He said thank you, and he said go get some lunch.
Okay. Damn it. Let's go. Well, actually, no word here. I'm gonna ask. How has he been doing lately? Was he?
Did he
Well, I don't know. Nothing out of the ordinary that I can tell.
Did he seem to be muttering things to himself?
I couldn't say. I don't know. I guess you mean the last couple of days I've been down with the flu. I don't know.
Well, I'll talk. We can talk.
smallpox.
That's the boys. Yeah.
Smallpox.
Right. Yeah.
Has anything
Feels like
untoward been happening in the?
By chance, you didn't shake hands with Mr. Lincoln, did you? We wouldn't want him to catch it.
No, I've had it since before Mr. Lincoln came to town. It's been 3 days. I had to miss the whole ceremony and everything.
Oh, how
Bad.
tragic.
So, yeah, you gotta ask the boys.
Mark Norman.
Somebody roll me an interpersonal skill.
Fast talk?
Persuade or charm would be
I have
better.
charm at 80.
Use
Intimidate.
your feminine wiles to get
Swear to me. I mean,
I don't think that's feminine.
79.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, they're willing to talk to the pretty lady.
Yeah.
Also, you can ask about your husband's body, by the way.
I will do that as well.
Nominal reason why you're here.
Yeah. I'm here for a story.
Let's say,
It's never gonna be
name
published.
doesn't ring any bells. Sorry, ma'am. Yeah, Mr. Beeseker, seemed grumpy. I don't know. He was doing a good job keeping the records and everything. Everything seems to be in order. He's just been around. He's, it's nice to see him on the job, honestly, instead of gold bricking like he normally does.
What do you mean?
He's a loafer. He makes us do all the work. I mean,
Is he not
I'm not
doing
going to
much?
complain. We get paid. I mean, on this end, it's under Will's contract. Beeseker really just subcontracted with Biggs for his end of
Idleness
things.
is a sign of a troubled soul.
But Beeseker's supposed to be, and a big man on this project, and all he ever seems to do is sit up in his house and make himself scarce. Comes out here and check every once in a while, but
I see.
I should ask.
Does he come out smelling of the earth and foul chemicals?
I can't say I smell anything anymore.
Has anything unusual been found in these graves?
Why are we idling here? This man is on the loose.
When you say that, the laborer you're talking to he says nothing, but as the rest of you are looking around, you notice there's a young boy there, 13 years old, driving a wagon full of
So
coffins.
experienced worker.
Driving a wagon
the
full of
foreman.
coffins. He pulled up while you were talking to the guy, and then he overheard that last question, and his manner changes, as though he was shocked by that.
This a young Irish boy.
He's not. I don't know. You have to talk and find out if he's Irish. or
Do
not.
you know some?
So he's not black.
So
Correct. White. Yeah, he's white.
just kind of nod over to him, saying, "Like, young man, do you? I say, or you're overhearing. Do you know something?"
Roll me an interpersonal skill.
So, all right, persuade. New.
How much did you fail by?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to
Although,
intimidate.
actually, instead of
Can
pushing it,
intimidate the child.
well, no, instead of pushing it, I have credit rating. Can I pay him off?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Sure. Roll a credit rating, obviously.
Much better. 18 out of 70.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Mr. They're not called. They don't have presidents' faces on them yet. They're just a big old shiny gold coin, though, gets him to talk.
Gold a half penny.
Yes,
The doctor's quite generous. Anyway, we should go if this is as dire as it seems.
But what does he have
You're
to
not
say?
armed. You don't
Did
think
you?
it's
You're
dire.
asking about finding.
Apparently neither do
Finding
you.
strange
You
things
just want to
with
carry
bodies,
guns
so
about and have
battlefield.
idle conversations with corpse handlers.
Where you? I found something. I found a couple of things. Are you looking into weird stuff going on here?
Of course.
Did he find a foodle labrum?
Yeah.
No.
Darn it.
The Torsolabra?
He said I found
Facial.
a couple of weird things. I mean, I found
Dude, describe me, man.
it looks like just like a pile of skulls.
Facial labrum.
Just heaped up, and buried like shallowly in the ground.
Where exactly did you find that folding out like one of the maps that we...
Yeah, well, I can show you on the
This kid
map.
knows how to read a map.
There was one down
It
at
sounds like a big case of skullduggery to me.
down at the one way up here in the northeast,
What? There's skulls and he dug for them. Skullduggery. Isn't that what it means?
where the Rebs had been camped out when they were attacking the hill. And the other one was down on Bushman's farm, way down here, southwest. And but they looked like the same thing.
Same exactly?
Yeah, they looked like the same. One of heads just like piled all together in some kind of strange. I can't describe it too well. Almost like a pyramid, except like extra sides. And they were buried in the ground.
How many sides?
Pentagram.
Like, I don't know, like 7.
So,
Septagram.
Septagram. All right. Well, thank you. So when these lines intersect, is that where his son died?
Where those lines intersect is
It's a bit
at
wavy.
is at a place where there were some Union breastworks, just like a place in the middle of the battle line.
Okay.
You would have to go there to see what's going on there.
Okay.
But
Well, let's
they
go.
definitely intersect.
Let's go talk to Mr. Busick.
I do wish to ask
Or
one
Bessiker,
question of
sorry,
the other
Bessiker.
of both the people that we have questioned before
Uh-huh.
we leave. Did the word Zulbasire mean anything to you?
No, is that a person's name?
Yes. And we'll leave it at that.
What does that mean? What happened while I was at that box?
Well, maybe if you hadn't gone to a cotillion afterwards.
Cotillion, isn't that the South?
There's all of them. They only still have them in the South. They have them in other places. Anyway,
Fine,
So-
contradicts.
you're gonna go find
Okay, there.
Beesiker. He's in his house, which you broke into.
Yes, we will go there. Forthwith.
We should just burn the house down. I mean, come
So did
on.
you like
Yeah.
lock the doors behind you when you left?
We left it as it was, except for taking
Except
all
for the
the
fact that you
space.
totally pillaged all of his like
Yeah.
sorcery
Thanks,
shit.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We'll never know.
No, we showed you the letters.
We have spells.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what?
This is why we've been convinced he's a criminal. Look at the stuff he's been reading.
I look at the stuff he's been
It's
reading.
Latin and Greek. You can read the Greek because you read Greek.
I'll read Greek. I read Latin too.
Oh, you have.
Oh, you understand it all.
Yeah, I understand the Greek. And I don't understand the Latin.
How much did you pay the
Push
line?
it.
Understanding Latin.
Push it.
Push
Yeah, I'm not going to spend 14 luck points to read.
No, you can push it.
Just push it.
To double down on the consequences.
Yeah, do it.
Okay,
That's a new thing.
I make it.
All right, so yeah, it is.
Conjugate the verb.
It's
Well, there's
la-
also this letter, so you can.
Okay,
yeah.
I read that.
You already
You
did.
already read this one?
Do I
Yeah.
need to roll occult for all this?
Actually, do you have history by any chance?
I do.
Oh God.
Impale.
3. Joseph Kerwin was a famous person in Providence, Rhode Island back in the mid to late 1700s, or almost through the entire 18th century. He was suspected by all of his neighbors of being a wizard. You heard that at some point, all of his neighbors basically banded together. There was this rumor that they found some sort of proof that he was raising the dead, and they went to his farm and lit everything on fire and told everybody not to speak a word of what happened there in the late 1700s. As far as you know, his line has died out, but he was quite well known at his time as a merchantman. They said he used to buy mummies from overseas and have them shipped to his farm, and that there was some sort of underground cavern that he would stack them all in, and those were just the rumors, though.
Sounds like an average Rhode Islander to me, ain't it? Yes.
I will not have you disparage
they're
my
lonesome.
birthplace.
New Englanders and corpse fondling.
Well,
Just like Southerners and their gun pop.
So yeah,
not like anything we did to you.
All right, I'll take this a bit more seriously.
So does he gain the Cthulhu points like we did?
yeah, sure. Get 12 points of Cthulhu with those.
Damn, son. So did I go insane from learning
You
that?
do lose.
I'd lose 12 sanity points.
No, you
right?
don't.
No, it's your.
It's
It's,
not the-
remember, it's 99 minus your Cthulhu Mythos is your.
Oh, okay,
max.
all right.
You do, however, lose 6 points of
Holy
sanity.
shit.
That's 6 in one go.
That's 6 in one go.
Yes, it
I
is.
thought it was more than 6 in one go.
Nope. It's more than 4
excellent.
in one go.
Oh, very excellent.
That was an intense bout of lantern reading.
So, well,
Speaking of, we should probably get light sources if we're going to go
You're-
interrogate the guy in his
having read the Necronomicon and reading this Joseph Kerwin's shit, it's like, oh, this is what Joseph Kerwin was using to raise the dead.
Oh, okay.
Now that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Professors raising and trying to.
There is a random roll sanity table in this book, right?
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise,
There
it's
are
not worth
multiple
owning.
tables. Like there's.
There's a 100 entry random manias and random phobias table,
2 tables.
which I rolled 28, which is Coiteromania obsession with cemeteries on.
Nice.
No, look. See, this
both
is,
of them?
For him.
there's for phobias. There's and one for manias.
Well, what do I get?
Well, first you get is a short bout of madness with this your immediate response,
Oh, the 1d10.
which is violence.
Yeah.
I
thing
start
you were not
tearing
armed.
the documents up.
Yes, you
These
do.
vile heresies
Medicine
Do
to
not-
give him an opiate to calm down.
do
Yeah.
not need to see the light of day.
I try. I try and
Stomping them in the dirt.
Okay.
I grab him and like pin his head.
All right, we'll see if you get him first in the
No
night.
strength.
Okay.
We're gonna kill each other.
Is it blackjack rules in 7th edition, or
No,
are there fucking
actually,
resistant tables?
It's
again?
lower's better.
Yeah, I got an impale.
I fail.
All right, I'm gonna
As
see.
if I am a Presbyterian.
All right, see if I can give that ejection.
So I have a woman besting me in combat.
16 out of
So she
85.
holds him down, he shoots you full of morphine.
Hell!
Listening out.
That's our evidence.
You were tearing us.
So I'm unconscious. And now you're gonna go. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna drag me to go see
You have a horse.
She can obviously use you as a flail.
Relax.
On the horse.
I got him.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Strength of 60. It's relax.
Oh,
I got him.
make that 70, David.
It wasn't a big, it wasn't a
Make it
big
70.
dose. You'll wake up soon.
Make it strength of 70.
Why not 75 for just...
If it wasn't a big dose, it wouldn't have sedated me instantly. Like, that's not how drugs work. You know, like, oh, we'll wait 30 minutes as he crashes and destroys the evidence. If they pass out within seconds, it's a not healthy amount of drugs.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I would have given you, if it were my game, I would have been giving you weed and you would have passed out, okay?
Fortunately, Caleb, the minister you find is morphine resistant and comes to fairly soon.
That's all right. I got him.
Good thing to learn, actually, before you get horribly injured and they try to give you morphine. It does jack to you, like it did to my brother.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Neil, I'm so sorry, man.
Not him, actually.
Oh, the other
my older brother, Ken, had his appendix out. They gave him morphine's like, this has no effect on me. Like, I do not feel any different.
Yeah. However, then they gave him Demerol, and he said that made him feel warm and special.
So, yeah. So,
It takes people differently. I mean,
yeah. So, anyway, side over.
So what's his long-term thing?
Oh, his long term.
Do I get a long term?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a longer term one. So, odds phobia, even mania. Even mania.
Mania's better. I'm looking at them. They're
43.
Oh my god!
In Nosamania, pathological belief that one has sinned.
Great.
So we have the Let's see. The ghoul who was obsessed with cemeteries,
Yes.
and the pastor who was obsessed with the idea that he has sinned.
Bravo, Brandon.
How would we tell the difference?
You're just more and more yourself.
I'm so sorry.
Just have to
Daniel.
play it that much harder.
So the random roll table is just reinforced your already established characters. Right?
Yes. All hail R and Jesus.
All hail R and Jesus.
Alright, so you're feeling that way. You feel just so guilty that you read these things as though they tainted you.
I'm in an opiate haze on a horse, praying, I guess.
Opiate haze on a hoss. I'm carrying you.
So we don't have a horse. I
am a horse.
No, but he's carrying you.
Yeah.
So I'm being lugged around by a man when there's a perfectly good horse. Not
It's
being
not
ridden
very
by
far
anyone.
away. It's like
It would
200
take more
yards
time to
away.
put you on
It's
the
just
horse
up on
and
a
lead the
hill.
horse along.
Okay. The gatehouse is like literally right next
You
to the
get there.
cemetery.
That's
So
all
you're
we
there.
working about at this point.
So you're there. You're at the gatehouse.
I say we just burn the house down.
No, we have to.
With the women and children.
No, the other house. You said
It's
it
all
was
one building with like an arch that connects to them. So it's like two towers with an arch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sinful. Change it.
So first what we do is we climb up on top of the archway,
Like
cut it down, and then burn the house down that he's in.
Right.
Well, the minister is in no condition. So perhaps.
God's right.
Perhaps Doctor.
Suspended above the
can,
fire, like
Why
knock
don't
on
I
the
talk
door.
spiders.
Why don't I talk to him?
Slender thread of his mercy.
Alright.
You want to talk to him?
Just go in by yourself?
Alright.
No, we're a couple. We need backup.
No, we're all going, but someone who's knocking on the door.
I'm going up to the
I shall
door.
knock on the door.
That is what I'm here for.
All right, no, wait. Let's establish it. Who wants to do that? Neil or
I will.
Okay.
I'm the only. I'm despite how I am reacting out of character. I'm the only person who's currently rational.
I'm rational.
I'm pretty
We
good.
must pray.
You want to kill him?
Pray.
I want to arrest him.
I want to understand what he's doing.
Yeah.
I
I want to find out why he's paying. Why
Whatever,
he's paying.
Yeah, just ask him why he's paying Basil.
Yeah,
so
why
much.
he's
That's
paying
the real
Basil so
question
much.
here. Why are you paying the black man so much money?
Actually, I'm all for that. I
A little
just want
too
to know
historically accurate.
actually, my character is all about racial equality.
I know. So anyway, you knock on the door.
Yes.
He opens it.
Hello.
Hello. Who are you?
My name is George Cotter. I'm with the New York. I'm a reporter for the New York Daily Tribune. I'm writing a story about the goings on down here.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not in any mood.
Repent, you sinner! We know your sins! They stand naked before the eyes of the Lord!
He's gonna
The
close.
arrow of God's wrath flies invisible at noonday and aims for your heart! Repent!
Slam it. Yeah, he slams the door in your face and locks it.
All right. Well, I think Plan B
That,
needs to go to
that could have gone significantly better. I'm gonna pick the lock.
Alright, get down there. You're picking at the lock.
Yeah,
You can't hide from the eyes of God! We are all laid before his judgment and found wanton!
It's 23 out of 50.
Okay, it'll take you a
So
couple
I make a
minutes.
good thing. I know that if you say, but everyone else.
The good news is with him yelling
Yes.
so much, no one hears the scrabbling at the lock.
That's what you think.
He can probably still.
He's probably also a ghoul.
Yeah.
There's a gun waiting on the other side.
Yeah, I'm hoping that people have me covered somehow. Maybe.
You know what? I'm gonna
Nobody
do
said you were doing that.
I am.
Okay. Alright, so you open the door. Are you opening the door again? You unlocked it.
The door is unlocked. I will.
I'm drunkenly stumbling inside.
I will turn the knob and sort of push it open.
Okay. It opens. There's nobody there.
I want the minister going first. He'll set off.
Yes!
Let that canary wander in there.
Alright. It's as I described before, it's got a shrine to his dead son. There's nobody there.
He's in the bait. All right, I'll go in after him
Okay.
with a shotgun. Mr. Bessica.
Door to the basement is also locked.
All right.
Locked all of
Why
the
are
doors
we
behind him like you
bothering
would.
with unlocking? Like,
It's not locked anymore.
Okay, you pop it open. It takes another minute or two, like it does to
You know,
pick
wouldn't
lock.
it go a lot
handles
faster
down.
if we just kicked it?
Yes, it would go a lot faster. You
Stop
kicked
picking.
it.
All right, make a strength check.
Strong kick like a horse. No, you got it.
Okay, all right.
Integrate to critically fail and just break his foot.
Do we notice that his knees are not bending the right way at this point?
They still look like normal knees.
Okay.
They're just quite strong right now.
Yeah. All right. So he's kicking the doors down.
Yeah, go bump that strength up to 75.
Okay.
I got
All right, the door to the basement is kicked open.
Have you gotten a bump on your damage bonus yet?
I think I might. I don't know.
Let's see. What's your strength plus size together?
Let's see. Size is 50. Strength is 75. So that'd be 125.
Yes. Your damage bonus is now plus 1d4.
Yay.
That's terrifying.
Down lower right hand corner, you can.
Your
It
build
was
is
at none,
one
so
now.
now it's now
It's
1d4.
for like wrestling and stuff.
Okay.
Like he hasn't increased in size either?
But now he's not
Yeah,
increasing in
the
size.
damage bonus is determined by adding size and strength together, then checking the table.
Yeah, so
Page
you need to get
34.
more just fighting strength.
So you need at least 125 to get plus 1d4 damage bonus.
What you got? Okay. You kicked the door to the basement open. There's no one on the other side.
We have lanterns now.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I did.
Store
I actually
forward.
did in fact say,
Alright.
if we're going back to his place, I'm getting a light source first.
Okay.
Yeah.
The recording will bear me out here.
The
Okay.
GM is willing to let us have whatever we want walking into this final scene.
Yeah.
We all know how it's going to end.
We are dead. We are so dead.
know.
Who's open?
Very, very
There's one more locked door that goes into the
He
tunnel.
kicks it open.
I will have the lantern in my offhand and
Actually,
a
first,
revolver in my
try
right.
it.
It's
Yeah.
unlocked.
It's unlocked.
Yeah.
I don't need to kick this one.
Okay. You guys are in the front, right?
Yeah, he's pushing his way towards
Yeah, the rest of us are like,
Accusing
okay.
McGee and the ghoul are.
Okay.
Accusing McGee and the ghoul. Next on Fox.
Sounds like
of eating the flesh of dead men. Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go-
it was clearly him.
So what are you guys' power?
Mine is 35, unless it goes back up to 40 when I'm underground.
Yeah, it does go back to before you when you're in
Power?
Is it just those?
60.
60, okay. Beasaker's power is 70. They have changed the way this works so you don't have to use the super resistance table anymore. You guys both roll POW. And he will roll POW, and depending on the degree of success.
Ought 7 out of 40.
95. I think great.
Okay.
A big hand, please.
Alright.
Caleb.
So, Caleb,
Should have stayed at the box social.
odds arms, evens legs. Odds left, evens right. Odds left arm. So,
The one with the Bible in it.
he speaks, Beasaker is on the underside of the door, pointing at you and ending some sort of invocation, as you open the door. You lose 1d8 hit points, and a permanent loss of 2d10 con as your leg shrivels up.
Left arm.
No, you don't get it, you're fine.
No.
Oh,
Your
left arm,
rolls
sorry.
were left
Yeah,
arm.
left arm, yeah.
On your rolls.
Yeah, as your left arm just shrivels up.
What?
Oh, he cast Wither on you.
Yeah, your phone.
What about it?
Look.
Okay. All right.
So, music goes on.
So you lose how much con did you lose?
How do I roll 1d8 con?
1d8 hit points, 2d10 con.
2d10 con. Alright.
We have the spells. We tried to just recite one.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Just 15 points.
Okay, cool. Also make a sanity roll. If you've been
I'm sure I'm going to do good on this one.
struck by magic.
Just a little
Now,
bit.
see, I'm going to end an invocation of my
Oh,
own.
I made
Mine
that
goes
one,
bang, bang,
sadly.
bang.
Sure.
Well, no, this is just a manifestation of sin going on.
Yes.
It confirms your bias.
So you pass this in.
Yeah,
Lose
sadly.
lose 1d4.
8 divided by 2. 1.
All right, no, you're Yeah, it's an evil witch of some sort.
Burn the witch.
It's trying to
Do we all see this? I guess we all have to make sand
You're
checks.
obviously susceptible to this because of your sinfulness. If you were more holy, you would be immune to this wickedness. Yeah, the rest of you can roll
I would have
sand, too.
protected you
Okay.
from truly favor.
Not going to be as bad as getting hit by
Sand
that.
checks for all!
Yeah.
15 on the sand. 34 on the first
I
shot.
am fine.
Okay, we'll wait on the shot.
Okay.
So everybody's in what's
That's a
said.
100.
Nice.
Is it now?
It is. You're Merry Christmas.
Okay.
This is going great.
This is
So
beautiful.
for the
We
crit,
had a great plan. Go accuse him.
Well, I didn't think magic was real. I just thought he was a crazy
You're
person
gonna lose
fondling
it.
corpses.
you're going to lose a D8 here.
Okay.
A D8 sanity?
7 points.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Anybody else failed the sanity?
No,
I did.
Okay, that's a
fine.
D6 if you fail.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just roll it. 5 points of sanity for you.
so temporary for Ross.
Temporary for us. Everybody fast
no.
take one because it still happened. You still saw it.
So, yeah, depending on how these madnesses manifest, I might just be GTFOing my way back to town.
I hope I get violence.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
I want the sisters to speak.
Don't worry.
Ross-
If we chop your arm off, it'll grow back.
Ross, you
did.
faint.
Oh, that's lame.
Wait, can I spend luck to that?
Get another one.
Take that.
You know what? This is not part of the rules, but sure. Burn 10 luck.
All right.
No, you know what? Burn half your current luck.
Okay, that's actually not too different.
Okay.
33 to 17, I guess.
Alright, and I'll reroll for you.
Uh-oh.
Significant person. The investigator mistakes another person in the scene for their significant person.
Oh my god.
The person you're
consider
honest
this-
husband.
Your deceased husband.
Yeah,
This will go great.
you feel like the minister here reminds you of your husband, and for a moment you think that he is your husband.
My husband has been wounded! I'll get you, Johnny Reb!
Alright.
Alright, so the doctor.
Oh god.
Thanks.
I'll save you, my beloved!
Mania. So I'm gonna roll twice on Mania, both of those.
I get 2.
Yeah. 43. This is a no-so-mania again. Do you also feel sinful? Horrified by this?
What have I
And
done? Charge needs against the flesh and humanity.
32, which is dachnomania, obsession with killing. There's only one way to expunge your guilt.
And that is to kill this man.
So,
By turning his own spells against him, I'm on the
escalated
list.
quickly.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Should this be combat at this point?
Yes,
All right.
yes, it should.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna let David go first because he was like prepped for it already. But everybody else,
So-
take a look at your decks, and we'll just do this in dex order.
Mine is 70.
80.
50.
35.
60.
Okay, so I didn't keep track of that at all. So
He goes first.
and then
Yeah.
Ross.
He said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would have gone first by numbers anyway, because 80.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Apparently the hand is quicker than the eye.
Okay, David, take a shot.
Also betraying your humanity is kind of cool.
Well,
He actually just woke up with a
my
hand.
first
Wasn't
shot
he?
I rolled a 34 on earlier.
Okay, yeah, you get that. That hits.
Let's see. 9.
That hits.
Oh no, I
Is that
mean
a
9
hit?
damage.
Oh, 9 damage. Okay, yeah, you hit him.
Okay, second shot is
Center of mass.
60. So
Is that
that is right at
That hits.
60 out of 60.
Sure.
So that one is 6.
Okay. It's not quite dead.
And-
How many shots? I don't think you get multiple shots.
Revolver.
You can go through.
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're fanning it?
When you're at short range, you can.
Oh, okay.
And then 10.
Okay, he's dead. 3 to the chest.
Bang, bang, bang.
He flies backwards and collapses in a heap of gore.
Relax, I got him.
Alright. You're not so sure he's dead. Doctor.
I'm not. And I'm turning his magic on him.
Oh, are you now?
Yes, I want that list of spells again, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was ridiculous for saying you killed us all that last.
Descending dragon, ascending dragon, dread name of Azathoth, call forth the gnawing ones, open the way into Yogg-Sothoth, and
Call forth the gnawing ones.
and the curse of dry
Call
crippling.
forth the gnawing ones.
That's the one I know. I kind of want to see the ones I don't know.
Okay, so let's. How many are there here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Call
7.
David
I'm not going to say open the way because
I
it's a
think
long
I'm just
ritual.
screaming.
So 6 then.
6, sure. Roll a d6.
Let's do a random shit I come
My
up with.
arms withering away?
4. What was that?
Call forth the gnawing ones.
Call forth
Told
the gnawing ones.
So you can just start chanting that. Not even really sure what it does or what it's supposed to do. It's just one of the ones you remember earlier. Take time to memorize it too strictly.
Do I need to actually spend magic points on this?
Yes.
Alright, what do I need to spend?
So he's
Stop him! He's writing his name in the devil's book!
I'll do it, my husband! I swear!
honestly, you're chanting, keep his arm withered. I'm shooting you too.
We'll see.
Hold on.
We'll see if I can get it out before you can shoot me down.
Aaron, we have to shoot you now. I think we're going to start every
Bang, bang.
Cthulhu scenario
Shot you
by
down.
executing your character for our own safety.
He's responsible for none of this tonight. I just want to point out.
I am going. Yeah, no. As soon as I thought I was at. Yeah, as soon as my husband tells me to go, I will. Am I in point blank range? Is that rule changed?
I think it's different than it was, but I don't want to look it up.
Okay,
So is it the same?
It's what, double firearms or whatever it is?
Doubles the skill in the previous
Yeah,
edition.
sure, why not?
So are we just are we going by dex rules on this?
Okay, so this is what we know about
Sure,
the
why
marching
not? I
order.
mean, you're what,
You and I are
35,
at
you're
the
in like
front.
last.
The other four are behind
Well, let's
us.
say, I mean, kind of,
in
you get to the bottom of the
some
initiative, you start
array.
chanting, then they notice
So,
that something is going wrong.
we're out of the line of fire.
Now they can go.
I'm probably on the ground screaming because my arm is withering away.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've gone to my husband, so I'll be firing at normal chance.
Okay.
So, like that would be fair.
And
No, we were all just
and I'm
clustered
going to shoot
together
the
at the door,
doctor
so
as
it's still
well.
point blank.
33. That's a hit.
That's it. You can roll dodge.
Okay, I'll try.
While he's trying to channel his
Dodges into bottom right.
Yeah, I see it. So it's
Okay.
He's a really good reader.
Well, he doesn't have to read. He
hell no.
His dodge is
right, how
17
far away
and he rolled
am
a
I?
90 something.
What?
How far away am I?
I
I'm
don't
at
know.
his thing.
Let's
Point
say
blank.
you're 10 yards away or something.
10 yards away, so I'm at 46 range.
Oh, this is
This is a shotgun.
shotgun.
Am I at
Okay.
46 range or 2d6 range?
I'm going to say 2d6.
Aww, boo.
No, it's fine.
Kill Aaron.
Only 6 damage. I
6
wing
damage.
him.
6 damage. So it takes me down to 4.
So I am also shooting you, and
Yeah,
I will
well-
point out that I rolled a 78, but that's okay because I have a ridiculous amount of luck.
Yeah, burn it all.
Oh, yeah, you should spend the rest of your luck on this dodge check.
Try dodging.
So let's see. To bring that down into a hit range, I have to spend 38 points of my 45 luck.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite so lucky. Aaron, you get to roll dodging. Eh?
But you know, fuck it.
We're going to kill each other before we actually see them.
Yeah, so I fail. No luck's going to be able to push that because I think.
Okay, you get
Well,
shot.
hold for a second. So, well, actually, wait a minute.
Wait.
Because I was 50. Yeah, there's no way I could get that. So
What's your dodge?
17.
And what? Oh, you only have 17 in dodge.
Yeah, real low.
So I'm an old man. So I'm
Okay.
not that quick
You're not
on
an old
there.
man anymore.
Yeah, it's just next time too.
You're
You get extra
dead.
points in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He rolled a
Wow,
9
your dex
for
is
damage.
really low.
Yeah. So I feel like the character it was.
It's even lower
Yeah,
now.
then.
My dodge is 75.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, that's right. I think I downed your dodge.
My dodge is
because
only
I
25.
dump points out of your dodge because
Yeah, that's fine.
that was half your dex.
Yeah. No, you did it right.
Yeah, dodge is half dex. Okay.
My character's been maxed for murder.
So
Or you know what? I'm dead anyway. Let's push it.
yeah,
Okay. You're chanting still.
Yeah,
Or are you
still
pushing? Yeah.
Pushing dodge.
he's pushing the dodge.
Oh, pushing dodge.
Or
yeah.
can I push the chant instead to get it done?
Yeah, no, you can push the chant.
Push the goddamn
And if you
chant.
succeed on
Yeah,
your
you're right. You have no hand in this.
Yeah.
Blameless.
If you succeed on a power roll,
I'm not saying I'm at fault here.
If you succeed on a power roll,
No,
Jared,
we're
you will
saying-
finish
Yeah,
it
I
out with
clearly
your
say
dying
you're at
breath.
fault.
You'll finish
On the
it
power roll?
Yeah, on POW.
Come on.
Now.
34.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you open up on him, but you manage to mumble out the final...
By the way, 9 points of damage from my revolver.
Yeah, that's
You are
enough.
dead.
He
Have fun with that.
gurgles out the final syllables as he collapses.
What was your are we at deck 60 yet?
Obsession with killing.
Actually,
Okay,
I'm
all right.
Dex 50, so
And obsession with the
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, and
he
sin,
was
too.
chanting.
everything's going horribly wrong.
Yeah.
He was
We are
chanting.
dying. Someone has to report this to the president. I'm taking the notes and I'm leaving. I'm going home.
Oh, you're taking all the notes with you? That's a good idea. You should do that.
I am doing that.
Beloved, are you okay?
No!
What do you want me to do?
Harden yourself! Think pure thoughts!
Oh, so I'm just praying with my beloved.
Alright, so anyway, after a while, things kind of calm down. Seems like the violence is over. Unless anyone has anyone else they would like to kill. Dan is leaving with the notes.
Which is good.
No, I'm looking into chaos. It's like,
Yeah, you're just you're
I'm
gone.
gone. Bye.
I am
out.
perfectly okay with this.
So the rest of you are sitting there in the tunnel with the dead body of Bizakur and the dead body of the doctor
Yep.
bleeding out in front of you.
I recommend
and the
that.
final syllables of his chant sort of ringing in your ears.
Okay.
How does David feel about that?
Once I come to my senses,
I'll
I
be
realize
okay,
that
I
this
think.
the minister is not my dead husband.
Yeah, that wears out pretty quick.
I'm like,
Aww. There could have been a budding love story there for all the slash fiction writers. I'm unworthy of a wife anyway. For I am so lowly,
well, now you're a cripple.
soiled.
Now you're tainted.
Right.
God says
So
bring judgment on you.
The tunnel continues to menacingly loom off into the darkness in front of you.
I will raise my
Have
lantern
not-
and
have
bravely essay forward.
Yeah, same here. I
You
will.
still don't have any insanities, do you?
What?
You're
No.
still good.
I am still remarkably well grounded.
I don't have any.
I have a love for cemeteries, but I'm okay down here.
All right.
I am going to reload the 3 chambers that I used.
Sure.
Similarly, I will reload the one that I used.
I will reload.
All right. Yeah, everybody reloads. Great.
What are we doing? We need to get help.
As you continue down,
I agree. You need to get help.
you see the
We need an exorcist.
right.
You're a priest.
We've got one. That's you. And don't worry about the hand. It'll grow back. It's fine.
We didn't prepare for stuff superstitious at the college.
God will guide you.
All right, so you go down further. You see the desk that you previously sacked. Obviously, Bizakur cottoned onto your thing, came down here, realized you had pillaged his stuff, and just waited for you to come and get him.
Okay. That was a good plan.
And so further on, it maintains. If you keep going down in the darkness,
Yeah.
the next thing you see is a huge pile, just random pile of corpses.
See? All the proof we needed.
So just keep going.
Yeah.
It's a big pile of just heaped up.
I use that
bodies.
satchel of things to block out the sun.
Oh, yeah, that's good for you. Everybody else rolls in.
Come on, dice, fail me now.
I do, in fact, fail.
Yes!
Okay.
So 1d4, just a 1d4.
Just got to say, my roll, I needed to get under a 26. I rolled a 24.
Nice.
I take 4 more.
All right.
I am the least
So what are
sane
the rules
person
in an
in this
hour?
room. I'm fine with
It's
this.
a fifth of your total within game day, I think, now.
Yeah, it is. So they
I
push that
similarly
out
do,
of
in
it.
fact, take 4. That's not enough.
I might be there.
So what's
what did I start with? 60? No.
You were already there, weren't you?
No, I've lost 11 so far.
Okay.
What's your power?
60.
Yeah, if you lose one more.
Okay, cool.
Come on.
Oh, you'll lose on it. Don't worry.
You're going to actually see the thing, and then you're done.
So, yeah, it's a big pile of corpses. Ross, give me spot hidden.
Just Ross?
Yeah.
8, which is an impale.
You know that writing crop you gave to your husband?
Yeah?
There's a writing crop sticking out of the pile of corpses.
God damn it. Husband! My husband! He is here among the departed!
That he is. Roll sanity.
Oh. I'm almost at an indefinite, too. And I am at an indefinite.
Okay.
67 out of 40.
Lose a d6.
Miss!
5.
Stay away from that! It's unclean!
So let's add on to the top 82. Photomania, pathological desire for light. You need to haul your husband, like he's been suffering in darkness down here. You need to get him in the light.
Is there something flammable I can set on fire?
A big ass pile of methane infused bodies.
Well, I can't set him on fire.
You can drag him out and
No,
Yeah.
then he'll be light eternal.
Does that work? Or should I drag him out?
you should drag it. It's your character. You can decide what you want to do.
No, I need to drag him out so I can see him. So I dig through. Oh, you've been in the darkness too long, my beloved.
All right.
Oh, God.
Wait, let me grab that for you.
Like a fire in an unventilated tunnel would be more fun.
Is his strength at 80 yet, by the way?
Oh yeah, sure.
We need more light. More light.
How high is it gonna go?
Oh, it continues. The tunnel continues to go further into the darkness, past the pile of corpses.
We've discovered what Mr. Lincoln wanted. And the man has been punished for his sins eternal in hell, like all of us will. So we should go.
I need to get my husband to the light.
Yes, we should help the poor lady carry her deceased.
All right. As you guys turn around to start leaving or whatever, there's this rustling and rumbling sound you hear in the walls.
Rumble.
Coming toward you from several points on both the left and right side of the tunnels. And in a matter of moments, these things just crawl right out of the walls, like burrowing into this basement here.
The gnawing ones have been called
They
forth.
are long and whitish and look almost like
Rats
some
in the walls?
combination of worm creature and dog.
I failed the sanity check.
I do too.
Again,
Hey, Karen.
24 out of 26.
That's good. Those are the ugliest poodles I've ever seen in my life.
These are this is 2 for 2 Cthulhu games in a row that you have killed us off, Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take this right now. I've not killed everybody in the
So
last
everybody
one.
who fails,
Not everybody.
everybody who fails lose 1d6.
2 made it out.
Oh, except for you don't lose
Yes.
I succeeded my roll.
0.
So I'll take a short and an indefinite.
Yeah, I'll take a short one too. Can I roll for it?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to choose. I'll just have both.
Alright.
Let's see here.
Down to 43.
I mistake another person in the scene for my significant person. Oh, that's not my husband. That's my husband. How about one of the ghouls is my husband?
Why not?
Actually, no. Why not me?
No, ghoul.
Caleb Paranoia.
All right. What's my indefinite though?
Your indefinite is
About hysterical blindness.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of already what you've been doing though. Let's go with violence. These things are demons and need to be killed.
I'll go at them with my one good arm, completely unarmed.
Padre, catch.
From hell's eye. Wait, I could drop my shotgun to embrace my husband,
That's
and you
right.
can pick it up.
No, I
yeah.
am not thinking straight.
Okay.
I'm attacking with my fist.
Well, here's the problem.
No, Bible. Smack them with the Lord.
Okay,
I've got a 45 in brawl.
do it.
Smack them with the Bible.
I make it.
Nice. Deal 1d3 points of damage.
Yes, right. Fuck you, ghoul. It's a 1.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot the
Padre,
Oh.
slap him with your good hand.
There's 4 of them.
Well, I reach up to one and like, my husband, you're alive. I thought you were dead.
Okay, yeah. You just reach up to him. So Caleb, the one you just smacked, picks you up in his arms and just holds you out in front of you like you do like they do in the movies with kids. His arms are too short.
I'm gonna shoot the ghoul that's punching it in.
Roll idea check.
Oh wait, no, sorry, that is a 19, not a 91.
This thing is not killing him, even though it obviously could.
Is it wearing a uniform?
No, they're totally naked.
Okay.
We're already in hell.
He looks you dead in the eyes with his like canine expression and says, and you find yourself unable to speak, no matter how much you wish. All right.
I am going to hold my action.
All right. They begin chanting. Zulba Sair, Zulba Sair. You find yourself chanting.
Zulba Sayer?
Yes.
Zulba Sayer.
David finds himself chanting along with them.
It's almost like the Who's in Whoville.
You know,
Zulba Sayer, Zulba Sayer.
In short order, this strange purplish light begins to emanate from the floor and ceiling of this tunnel.
We are all dead.
And it coalesces into the form of this figure who is about 7 feet tall, tall enough that he can't stand upright in the tunnel, clothed head to toe in this enormous purple robe with a big silver skull mask. And
Hello, my name is George William Cotter. I'm with the New York Daily Tribune. Can I get an interview, please?
Oh, I didn't see your other messenger.
we shall.
No editorials.
My brothers, my forebears, are grateful to you for freeing them from their obligations to this foolish sorcerer.
Glad to help.
You're welcome.
Oh, come join us, my brother. It will be wonderful. I'm so glad you're able to come home to us.
Seems legit.
He just holds out his hand to you.
I'm going to take his hand.
Okay, when you take his hand, you transform totally into a ghoul. And now obviously look exactly like all the other ones, except you're still wearing clothes.
Can I get out of the thing's grasp yet?
Question. So is this hand growy, backy thingy something that we do, or...
Yes, it's part. You've always been one of us. We changed you at birth to walk among them and serve as our eyes. But you've come back to us, and now gathered you unto us.
Well, I've learned a lot. Can you fix my friend the priest?
I don't know if
He's a
I
little
can
broken.
fix that. I can calm him temporarily.
Sleep.
Probably a good idea.
He mumbles some things at you, and you just sort of feel your mind kind of just blank out a little.
Reverend, does this smell like chloroform?
And so he says the sorcerer had gotten us under his thrall and had used us to pursue his foolish plan, using us to rob the graves of these these dead, these hallowed and holy dead. It was against our desires and our nature, and an offense and affront to these. So we are grateful for you.
So you're not going to be doing that anymore.
Doing what?
Husband,
Disturbing
let's go.
The dead.
Why are we still here?
We are.
We need to go to the surface, to the lights.
We are.
Are you talking to the ghoul?
Yes.
We disturb nothing. We carry you on. We carry you forward.
In our stomachs.
And in our minds. We eat your brains.
We are your afterlife, you see.
Oh.
Those, when you perish and go into the ground, we retrieve you. We We remember you. We remember everything that has happened to you. These, my forebearers, will consume those below the ground, now and in the future, carrying them forward within their flesh. Then, when the time of Zulwa Sair comes, they shall join themselves to us, the high priests, and we in turn shall join ourselves to Great Mordigian, the final and last memory of all the earth. And all shall be remembered, and all shall be one within the vastness of Great Mordigian.
How do you spell Mordigian?
M-O-R.
I am taking notes on all this. My prized possessions are a notebook and fountain pen, after all.
Well, you're going to be a good cultist.
My brothers
Take lots of notes.
had, my ancestors had opened a gate by planting these totems that you found out in the fields to summon me here, with the hopes that I might free them from this wicked sorcerer. But I see you've done their job for me, and I'm grateful to you. And as a part of my gratefulness, I promise that we shall consume each of you and maintain you in memory once you pass below the earth.
Husband?
That's very kind of you.
Receive now the mark of Mordigian, that we may find you once you pass under the ground.
Not on the face, please. I do have to sometimes pose for pictures, and that takes days.
All right, very well. He touches you on the upper arm where it wouldn't be visible normally, and leaves this horrible burning scar.
Thanks. It's real nice of you.
And that is the basis of tribal tattoos today.
it looks like barbed wire.
Oh, those are the people that are getting interned forever in Mordigian.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. Forever's going to be awful.
It's a selective memory.
It's gonna be like,
What's up, bro?
God, it'll be like,
You living in the mind of a ghoul? Sweet, bro. Me too.
God, it'll,
Shut up, Kyle. You're not supposed to tell them
No,
that.
the bitches up here, though.
well, it smell like ash.
No Jaeger. Do they even lift?
God, it's gonna turn to Florida.
Alright. So unless any of you wants to make a last-ditch effort to try to kill the ghouls or something,
I'm unconscious.
oh yeah,
I've been-
you're generally
I'm recovering from a morphine overdose, and then I got space magic.
They
So,
simply fade away into the walls. David, he invites you to go back with him to Zulba Sair in the future.
I will.
All
But
right.
first, let me make sure that my friends make it out safely.
All right,
The light. I need
you
the light.
crawl for them to
well,
light.
your husband's leaving you.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, you still have your husband's corpse. Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's not my husband. That's my husband.
She's gotten very confused today. Can we just keep playing to see what else Ross's character can think is her husband?
Rocky, you're my husband now. Are you my
Horse.
So you crawl out into the light, realizing that you have a story that no one will ever believe.
But I will shop around to publishers under a pen name.
So you're just gonna like spread it as a rumor, even though Lincoln told you not to. That's cool.
Tales of a grave robber? Tales of a
No. I'm not going to talk about the. I'm not going to talk about the
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg stuff. I'm going to talk about Mordigian and Zulba Sair.
Oh yeah, so it's your Lovecraft gets all those ideas.
Oh, God.
Lord Dunsany and then some reporter. Those are my inspirations.
I feel like
Dan
Howard's
managed to
even
make it out
included.
without receiving the mark and before everyone else, and he still has all the notes, all the pages.
Straight to the goddamn president.
Alright, so Proto Delta Green is founded out of
Founded by a nurse. A middle-aged nurse.
a secret office within the Sanitary Commission. Marks all their little documents with a green triangle.
That's you think that you
Black sanitation group.
That's an awesome framing device. Like
It is.
Reconstruction era Cthulhu fighting. Yes,
Yes.
sign me up.
So yeah.
Meantime, I become a very good cultist.
the rest of you go on with your lives to the extent that you wish to.
Yeah. Probably be a.
How do I explain the loss of my arm?
It's actually really
Things happen
easy.
in wartime.
Smallpox. Smallpox or typhus or any number of wounds.
Well,
or
your arm is
some-
still there. It's just withered.
He's got a horrible infection while investigating the grave.
like,
It got well. It's my
it
understanding
was
that
more
the limb is still
surprising when you were
attached.
intact as a person.
You'll probably have to, get it like amputated,
Well, I'm
or just explain the
pretty
timeline.
hardcore. My sermons take a dark turn.
As you take incredible efforts to ensure that no one ever sees the brand that was inflicted upon you while you were unconscious.
Sinners in the hands of an angry God.
I think I figured I got left lucky dying.
I don't know.
Oh,
See, Caleb, nobody else died in this
Oh, they
one.
promised.
You shouldn't have rolled. You should have just started like call fast and boom, game over. All right.
I wanted to give you guys a fair chance. I knew that would just be done.
Aaron, as
You did
a
doom us
bonus,
all.
the ghouls do promise the rest of you that they will eat you as well, because they see your body lying there, and will do right by
Hey, free
you.
body.
Are you going to eat that? No. We'll take that.
So
I
everyone
was
but
going to,
Dan,
but I had a big lunch,
so everyone but Dan is doomed to be eaten by ghouls. Thanks, Aaron.
Hey,
I'm doomed to fight ghouls.
I am doomed to be eaten by super ghouls. Thank you very much.
Right.
Except, yeah, David is a ghoul. Dan fights ghouls. Everyone else is eaten by ghouls because of you.
That's not a TPK at the moment.
Okay, the
It's
conclusion
a
of the
6 feet under ending with ghouls. Everyone dies eventually.
So,
Yeah.
questions, comments, suggestions.
Oh, I love that.
Fantastic.
I like it. The Call of Cthulhu system, I think I like the revisions they made.
Absolutely. So they.
The scenario itself, I mean, the thing is, obviously, this would be a lot darker and more serious if there weren't like 6 players.
And we're not going complete gonzo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a tendency for one shot to like push the envelope.
Yeah.
I think maybe you could make this into an even more fantastical dungeon crawl kind of thing, Lovecraftian dungeon crawl, by like splitting it up and like as soon as we fall into pits if we're traveling around or something like that. So you could expand on that pretty easily, depending on what kind of tone you want. Like if you wanted more down to earth and and investigative, you could keep it kind of is, but you could really. Like, it gets crazy underground in the ghoul realm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's kind of once you find Visaker's secret lab, it's like, well, there's all the evil shit.
Yeah, we may want to hide it.
You might want to make it harder to find.
I don't think I do, because if I do, it
If
takes
you wanted
forever
to
to get
expand
to the good
anything
stuff.
beyond a one shot,
Yeah.
you would want it to be harder to find,
Yeah.
or that you'd want to set up.
It's also a graveyard from an empty battlefield, or like a
Yeah.
depopulated battlefield. There's not many places to hide.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I do have to say, as far as Civil War Delta Green is concerned, I totally love the idea of the organization, and I like the idea that Civil War Delta Green might grab people from both sides, because
No, I like
that's
the.
nice.
at this point, I think that the character I played in the other one would fit in very, very well with Sassy Nurse.
Nice.
The only thing that didn't make sense to me was that we didn't know the nature of the rumors right away. Because, like, why would if the president? This is important enough that the president wants is assembling outsiders to investigate this.
That's mostly so that I have a reason for you to go around and like actually ask people questions.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is, like, the
just give you a
rumors-
big info.
Well, no, it does
Yeah.
make sense in the scope that President Lincoln was trying really hard to keep the cause going, and if the
yeah, and the thing is, Lincoln just doesn't really know. He just heard there were some rumors, and you're the guys he hired to go find
and if
out.
something happens to the efforts of re-entering Union soldiers, what's going to happen to that camaraderie?
And I guess it makes more sense now because he was just basically right place, right time to at least be a
Well,
mate.
I think maybe you could make it like more like not a direct thing, but say there have been suggestions, there are rumors going around of grave robbing, of improprieties. I don't know the exact nature of these rooms.
just introduce the grave robbing thing.
Yeah, like we can't have grave robbing. Like I want you to find out who these. So it's like a misleading thing. Like, and it's a more mundane thing. So we have more of a like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The president wants us to make sure that to look into this matter, so everyone knows that the dead are being honored. And that's a practical thing. So, and then we like, oh my god, candelabra, what the fuck? So, I mean, this is it's a really great setting for a horror scenario, but you could go very, and I feel like you're trying to do like a Hannibal-esque kind of thing. Like,
And by the way,
which is
candelabras are totally cool, and we need to get sets of those for like ambient lighting now.
so yeah, I know you and I talked about, like, you were thinking about doing like a Civil War era
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
Lovecraftian
Head of Glory.
book of scenarios or full RPG, and this would be like
A great.
a great sort of mini campaign kind of thing, depending on how the pace you like. I could see this as a really subtle, dry, or not dry, but like subtle sort of down earth investigation, like who's doing this, to like full on pulp. Oh god, fighting ghouls and warrens and dealing with Mordigian.
And if you were wanting to set up a book right now, that you could, it would really be cool if you could actually set up certain events for all those. That it actually goes down the years. That it starts at like. Right before the war, in the middle of the heaviest battles, and then like at this one at Gettysburg after the aftermath.
That's a good idea. I should go with one.
So yeah, no, Caleb, did you have any ideas?
No, I think that's basically what I would go with. So I guess one thing I didn't pick up, what was the sorcerer's motivation?
Okay, you never really like got. You never
We jumped to the correct conclusion.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, like, you know.
What power was he getting?
I assume he's trying to resurrect his son.
So the deal is, Beasaker has all this. He's doing the whole Charles Dexter Ward resurrection thing, but he can't resurrect his son because his body was blown apart, and he doesn't have all of it. But he has this note from Kerwin that indicates that if he could get in touch with Yog-Sothoth could do it for him, could do the real resurrection for his son. So he has this whole plan where he's basically compelled the ghouls to collect bodies for him, so he can get enough bodies to just throw them all together into a mass of flesh, basically dump all the salts together in a big hole in the end of his tunnel, and turn them all into a giant sort of Shoggoth-like thing that would be big enough for Yog-Sothoth to inhabit. Which is what's down at the end of the next thing. You go further down, you see his like salts table, like where he reduces the corpses, and he has all this stuff. And then at the very end, there's just this big pit with a cover on it, and you lift that up, and that's where the monster is.
So there's still a Shoggoth down there, right?
Yeah, there's still the big old vat of Ye Liveliest off.
So one thing you could do if you wanted, instead of making it a linear tunnel, one room after the other, is make it like a network, to where it's like 3 chambers, and so like here's the entrance.
I get what you're saying.
Here's the.
Then like
You're hopelessly lost everywhere.
Yeah.
And make them a webwork so
That would work.
Yeah, so like entrance and then like
possibly too.
Because that makes more sense with the ghouls, since they're
and then maybe like,
normally creating warrens or networks.
Fair
So
enough.
so it's like
So
one thing.
he's
It's
got-
more. It's quicker to get around. Like that's why houses are not long things.
So he's got Kerwin's notes. He's got the Necronomicon. He's figured out he could get these ghouls and then compel them to do his stuff by using Dread Curse of Azathoth. The big thing that that you guys didn't quite get onto is that you can actually take the ghouls out using Dread Curse of Azathoth if you want to, because I kind of changed the spell. The canonical version of Dread Curse of Azathoth is kind of weak sauce, weirdly enough. But it's supposed to be this thing that you can use to like make mythos people do whatever you want them to do, like by holding a loaded gun to their hand. So instead of having the version in the book, I instead have it as this basically nuclear option, where if you do the entire Dread Curse of Azathoth, it basically kills everything within about a 200-yard radius.
That's summon Azathoth, but
Yeah, it's similar to it actually, except that you can not die yourself. It's
what was the Sin Dragon? Descend Dragon was
those are the things from those are the resurrection spell. So descending reduces people to salt, and then ascending brings them back up to life from their salts.
Okay.
So the other thing is the widow. If you keep going down there, you realize that you could potentially resurrect your dead husband because you have all the magic components. You would
Sure,
do
he'd be
that.
fine.
Actually, if you do it right, technically they are fine. They do lose sanity, but like they're
Yeah.
If you get the,
You'd
I mean,
have
his
to-
body was intact.
You'd have to make some rolls.
Yeah.
Charles
could go-
Dexter Ward was totally okay.
It could go well or it could go badly.
Yeah.
You might have to eat a bunch of people like a vampire for a couple months.
Until they stay
Then after
alive.
that'll be great.
And there's plenty down here.
Yeah. So we become mythos villains.
Yeah, you could have. That's an option.
So yeah, I mean, like, there's any number of ways you can take this, and so it's a great, yeah. No, I mean, like, that's yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're aware that, like, once we scented the mythos, it was like, yeah, weird smell in the basement, gotta be him.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I figure I didn't want to prolong it too long of like how long figuring out who the hell it is because it's pretty obvious.
So yeah, no, we all had fun.
I'll hate to point it out like that, but we are kind of sort of Delta Green veterans. I mean,
right.
COC, this is not our first rodeo. This is not our first night at the opera. So
I think we're a bit kind of.
I think we would sent on to it somewhat quickish.
We usually are pretty impatient as a group. I've noticed we're a lot, when I play with other groups. Sometimes, like I do notice that we're a lot more like get to the plot immediately.
And then other groups are like, chew on scenery for days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Next scene. Let's find this book.
Any feedbacks on your particular characters? Anything you?
I really liked that I was like a widow who was like badass too. So I really like that there were different character types.
I guess I was just kind of confused as to what role the nurse was supposed to play.
Okay.
I thought that was
she does intimidate the best, and she does first aid, which are pretty good skills for a one shot. But I guess
she's also got persuade and psychology. But the psychology, I think, isn't that kind of they're lying to me?
Yeah, that's
so she's supposed to be one of the social ones for ferreting out.
Yeah, but the reporter had
reporter's just as good as that.
He had
What was your psychology? I tried to look at other people's numbers while we're
60.
Yeah.
Well, I have to kind of walk a line between trying to give everybody a niche, but also not make everybody necessary for success.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not making it like the gunnery sergeant and he calls me by the thunder.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and like in this case with the doctor too, I like the fact that when it came down to it, I had a dex of 17, and I was like in my early 50s, so I'm not walking on walls or dodging bullets at any time.
I mean, it's pretty clear that the nurse is slated to be a social character that can be a first aid in case things get messy. But it's just when the party is this big, she felt really redundant.
Okay.
To both the doctor and the reporter.
Yeah,
so maybe a group of 4. So
well, I mean that's going to happen in a Cthulhu game with 6 characters. I feel.
And
it's hard to have everybody equal spotlight.
That's why instead of participating in the scene, I decided to make my own story.
Everyone was drunk on whiskey, and there were 6 of us. You did just fine.
I feel like the character's good. I also applaud you for like having female characters in it as well.
Yeah.
Not just female characters, but very relevant ones for that.
I really try to do that for Civil War because the default would be, you're all soldiers. It means you all have to be like 20-year-old men.
Well, and just have to say too, the nurse Sarah Burton put me in mind. There's a website called Badass of the Week, and once they did a profile on
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the one where they did the profile on the very first female CMH recipient.
Yeah.
She was a Civil War era nurse, the second female, or actually female doctor, the second one ever in American history, who was an uppity woman who insisted on wearing trousers, and they wouldn't let her enlist in the army, so she just kind of said, fuck you guys, I'm going to follow the battlefield, and I'm going to put soldiers back together because they're going to need me there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
get some of that into sort of define her personality more than.
I feel like, defining personality is a little more, and like, I think the only thing that would be missing that would be really useful would be like, why does Lincoln trust us? So like, why are we so? I understand part of it could be like, there's a war going on, there's a shortage of personnel who can be trusted at all. So like maybe my husband's reputation, my late husband's reputation, and the fact that I'm known as like, obviously I'm sort of an outdoors woman with my natural world and riding and shotgun rifle skills and Latin reading, and you're a nurse who knows people in the area and is trusted, for example. Like maybe you obviously served at Gettysburg, so everyone's like, oh, they're familiar with you. You have local connections.
I could have gone with you have local connections and people actually know who you are, and that would have given.
So I feel like for this scenario that would be relevant.
Okay.
But
anybody else have like character notes that they like to make?
No, I thought everyone else was pretty.
Yeah. All right. There was the scenario. Success.
All right.